All right, everybody, about to get this show started.
And the pot calls the kettle black, calls the kettle burnt, calls her mad. Kettle reminds the pot that we've both been burned on the same stove, that the parts of our bodies that are layered in soot were scorched by the same hands. Kettle tells pot that she still boils water, holds the hot breath of a white man's tongue, endures the slow simmer of a white woman's allyship, and still, we make something beautiful. Pot calls the kettle wicked, and kettle says no, but says she's so magical she burned the hand of the last man who tried to pour himself a piece of her. Says she's so black she is everything, so black she is the beginning. She is the first thing someone finds home in when they wake up in the morning. Says ain't that what it means to be black? To have the world go up in flames around you and still be sanctuary for someone, saving men who lost themselves the night before, saving men who curse our names but forget his mama is made of steel too. And now the pot has no words but calls the kettle bitter, but loves the glass pan, the fine china, loves all the exotic shit white men put behind glass casings, loves how fragile things not made of steel can be. But this isn't about the pot or the pan. This is about the kettle, the black woman, how she pours herself across the earth, but no one bats an eye when the water disappears. We give ourselves to men who never love us, but they say we are difficult, too hard to break. How we, the kettle, praise this pot, this man for all the water he holds. How we are the only ones who do not call him monster when the water boils over, because we know this heat, this white flame, hot enough to make any of us explode. We are the first ones to make noise when the world goes up in flames, but they say the earth was saved by the man who heard her scream. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says yes, but says you best remember you black too. The next time they bring a fire to your neck, they burn black bodies on the stake and the stove. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says bitch I might be, says nuck if you buck, then says wipe me down. Kettle says yes my nigga, I be black, I be mad, and I boiled the last man down to his bones when he tried to test me. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says hell yes, but don't say my name as if you ain't ever been burnt too.
All right, all right. On the ones and twos, this is DJ Torch. We're about to have a good show. It's going to be all the way live. You know how we do it here. Let me keep it going here. Just to get you warmed up, we got a lot of dust to get through. We got a lot of dust coming up. Let me break it down like this.
Hi guys, I'm Joules and I'm back with another list. Today we're going to go over men's playbook of insults. Let's dive in. Number 1, they will tell you to get a cat, dog, or some type of pet. They actually have gotten creative and they tell you to get something other than a cat nowadays, but it's usually a cat, some kind of pet. That is not an insult, fellas. You are actually roasting yourself by highlighting the fact that we would rather get any other living being other than you to be in our lives. Also, as a woman, I don't have to take care of shit. It is not my job to take care of you, a pet, cat, dog, or a plant if I don't want to. It's also an insult that I would rather be alone than to ever be in your presence. So, whatever. Number 2, you talk about how we're ran through. You talk about our body counts. Now, I don't mean to be a Blanche Devereaux. Well, yes, I do. I'm just going to put all my business out there. In my personal experience, any man that talks about you being ran through or talks about body count is either really tiny or not skilled at all when it comes to being physically intimate, and they are intimidated and threatened at the fact that you might know what you're doing and you might have had better than them, and with these types of men you have. Number 3, saying you're too old, you've hit a wall. This is why we prefer younger women. This is another reason why I'm so passionate about my content reaching younger women, because they seek them out so they can take advantage of them. They know that we're experienced. They know that we have been through it and we have heard the BS that they put us through. So they target younger women who might not be as experienced or as educated in the area of these idiot men, and they seek to take advantage of them. It is not a flex that you cannot maintain a healthy relationship with someone within a healthy age range. It also shows that you are mentally and emotionally immature. That's not a flex that you prefer younger women. You're a predator! Number 4, calling us bitter, angry, and aggressive. It's like the big gaslight. Anything that they don't agree with, any boundaries, anything exposing them for who they are is bitter, angry, and aggressive. No, it's truth. It's harsh truth that you are not mature enough to open your mind to so that you can make positive changes. Bitter, angry, and aggressive is just code for you're not submissive and you're not doing what I tell you to do. Number 5, they call us masculine. They tend to do this a lot to Black women. And I saw this on someone's TikTok today. It's so funny. Our masculine ancestors led us to freedom, caused us to be able to sit anywhere we want to sit on a bus. These masculine women have done so much to move us forward in society, things that they benefit from to this day. Them calling us masculine is just code for, I don't like a woman being in power. I want to be in charge. I think I should do everything, Daddy, even though I'm not qualified. Good men know their strengths and weaknesses, and they work with women in order to get the mission, whatever that may be, accomplished. They don't try to reign over them or put them down when they're actually doing a good job. Number 6, they tell us to die alone. Funny thing is, statistically, in most heterosexual relationships, men usually die first because they don't take care of themselves and they expect the woman to do anything. So we're actually going to die alone usually anyway. And also from several women that I have talked to that have worked in nursing homes and in hospitals, it's usually the men who wind up lonely with no one visiting them or willing to take care of them.
That is so true. I mean, and we actually did a video clip on this where not only it was a male nurse telling us that it was mostly men that were that were dying by themselves, not women.
And there was even a mortician that I heard that she says they have picked up more men who died alone in skid mark draws eating a can of Vienna sausages because nobody cares about them. So that's just a big projection. They are afraid that that is their fate because statistically it is. And quite honestly, women usually have people willing to step up and take care of them because they have built actual friendships and they have taken care of family and friends, and they will be taken care of one way or the other. Number 7, they call you fat. They call you ugly. Men that say this stuff, it's also a projection because when I get these comments
we went over this too. I mean, what's funny to me is this, is that it's funny when these dudes shame/insult other women and other men, and they look like crap themselves. These men, you should see how these men look. They look horrible. I've gotten my most insults, threats, all that kind of stuff from men that literally look horrid. Now, it's one thing, looks aren't everything, but these are men, the men I am talking about don't bring nothing emotionally of value to anyone. And that's what's sad and funny about it, is that they themselves are, there's nothing, I have seen people who have been less than attractive, let's just put it that way, fulfill other people's lives, and it makes you think about them. They're no longer unattractive to you because, or repulsive to you because that you could see they have a good heart. You can see their value, which is more than just looks. But then there's those that just basically they're not that attractive looking, and they nail home why by their personality, why they're unattractive. In the house, Jen J. Yeah, Corey Holcomb is one of them. Yep, Corey Holcombs of the world, exactly. So much mouth and so much to say about folks, and look like a booger wolf. Yeah, exactly that. Let me break it down. We got Easy Money Jones in the house, Jen J in the house, Creative Solutions in the house, Super Duper Cyber Dreams is in the house. She was roasting and toasting yesterday. We have the Treason in the house. We're going to keep this going. We got a lot of show to show. It's all about those dirty old dusty old men committing all that sin once again.
On my pages, they usually don't have a profile picture, or when I go to their page, they look like Elmer Fudd.
Yeah.
They look like the Pillsbury Doughboy. They basically look like somebody who shouldn't be talking. They know that they are underqualified to be in your presence, so they have to try to bring you down a notch to make them feel better about themselves.
Right.
Number 8, they'll comment something like, "Get your passports, fellas." The funny thing is, these women in these other countries, they don't take a lot of the crap that a lot of American women take. Yes, there's misogyny and patriarchy everywhere, but a lot of these women require you to make a certain amount of money. They require you to take care of every financial need that they might have. They will not put up with your bullshit. And the funny thing is, a lot of these men can't even afford the passport and the round trip ticket to get to these places that they keep talking about. The women in these other countries don't want their asses either. And I'm sorry, it's not hurting my feelings. If you want to go somewhere else, please, by all means, don't let me burst your bubble. Please go.
Yeah, adios. Inside joke for all the passport bros.
Number 9, they'll say that's why we prefer Hispanic, white, or foreign women better. The funny thing about this one is marriages between a black man and a white woman or some other race actually have a higher divorce rate. And I think it's because a lot of these men are just fetishizing them, and they think that it's going to get them some kind of status. And then they get this wake-up call when they turn around and this woman that they put on a pedestal is now running their life.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing is that's where the feminine, submissive theory starts to crumble, because you would think that it was black women and black men that would be having more divorces per capita. But as she has explained, Joules has explained, that's not the case. And you saw a couple days ago, the gentleman that was getting kicked out of, well, I think it was probably the woman's house. She was a preference. Preferences will do you in, which is, I mean, really, quite honestly, there's nothing, I mean, it's not their fault you messed up. Let's keep it going.
Even they're at. Nowhere to run to, baby.
Nowhere to hide.
Nowhere to hide. Nobody wants you.
Damn,
Number 10, they put down single mothers. You know what? I don't want a man in my life who is too weak to step up to the plate and take real adult responsibility. And they fail to understand why we're single moms, because a lot of you tend to leave and desert your families chasing these imaginary.
All day, every day, it says it in the stats, said it in the history, all them kind of reports from back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, broke it down. In the house, Bridget Mouton. In the house, Happy Life. In the house, Easy Money Jones. In the house, Jen J. In the house, Creative Solutions. In the house, Cyber Dreams. In the house, The Treason. Let's keep it going.
Dreams and listening to your dumb friends telling you stuff and thinking that you found better. You didn't quite step up to the plate, so we left your ass, or you were abusive when we left you. You are intimidated by the fact that women can step up to the plate, do what needs to be done, get things taken care of, take care of their kids, and you're still living on a dirty air mattress with Walmart sheets that you haven't washed since you left high school. I've never met a quality man who is insulting women in any of these ways. I've never met a man doing.
That's the thing, is that these same men that insult women insult good men. They insult good men. So just like where they'll insult the good doctor that we had on, that I was featuring the last couple of videos, Russell Wilson, who hasn't said a damn thing to these fools, hasn't said anything rude. They disrespect him. See, there are just some men, and it just so happens to be mostly in the manosphere, that are just straight evil. They're straight evil. I mean, there's a thing that if you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing. But they seem to have a lot to say, don't they?
Anything with his life, who is attractive, whatever attractive means to you, who is making any real moves in life, say any of this stuff. So when you say this stuff, you're telling on yourself and you're letting us know, okay, this is definitely somebody that I need to avoid. It doesn't look good for you. Anyway, tell me what you guys think of my list. Bye.
All right, that was Joules.
I'm making a video reply to your comment because
this is, okay, we're in the prerequisite spot. What I'm doing is setting the base. The basis of the dust. I'm setting up the dust right now, if you don't mind, everybody. Here we go.
because I asked you a question and you did not respond. So we're going to have this conversation. We're going to talk about this photo that I posted because you had a problem with me comparing racism to the sexism that a lot of Black men expose Black women to. You guys don't want us talking about sexism. You have a big ass problem with feminism because all you seem to see is racism. It's like y'all refuse to admit the fact that sexism exists and that a lot of you act just like the person who posted this flyer. So we're going to go over it, whether you want to respond to me or not. So
all right, get him a piece of my mind. Tell him a piece of your mind.
First, this says Negroes for sale. All right.
In the house, M. Mills, Kimberly Moon, Happy Life, Bridget Mouton, Easy Money Jones, Jen J, Creative Solutions, Cyber Dreams. We're going to keep it rolling.
So this is what slave masters used to post to let the other slave traders know that they're going to be auctioning off some Black people. Look at the language that they're using. They're using words like peaceful, no troublemakers. Now, keep in mind, a troublemaker to a Black man is a feminist, especially a Black one. Mm-hmm. Also, they're using words like all house trained, cleans and cooks, irons, makes bed. So I asked you in my comment, is this not the things that Black men say that they are looking for in a wife? And are they not saying that westernized American Black women do not possess these qualities that the slave traders were looking for in a good, obedient slave? Look at some of the other language they're using. They says that this woman is 6 girls that are quiet, not headstrong, because the last thing a Black man wants is a headstrong woman, because a headstrong woman is viewed as being too masculine. This is shit that y'all are on this internet saying on a daily basis nonstop. But the second you see it on this flyer that says Negroes for sale at top, now you're saying I'm sick for comparing the two. Well, they look exactly the fuck alike to me. And here's the thing. It says that they even use the word female on this flyer. Yeah. So they're referring to Black women that they're selling as females. Y'all refer to us as females all the time. Y'all refuse to call us women. And lastly, the most sick about this all is they said that the girls are budding out, which means they're in puberty. Y'all love talking about how much y'all love younger women and that any woman over the age of 25 is past her prime because women age like milk.
That's so true. In the house, LM. In the house, love letters to L. Creative Solutions is in the house. M. Mills is in the house. Kimberly Moon is in the house. Happy Life is in the house. Bridget Mouton's in the house. Easy Money Jones is in the house. Jen J is in the house. Cyber Dreams is in the house. The Treason is in the house. Everybody up in the clouds is in the house. Let's keep this rolling. Let's keep this rolling.
One thing I notice about aging is people start to.
This is funny. I'm gonna start giving you the other side. I'm gonna let the red pill dudes get their piece in. I'm gonna let the red pill dudes get their piece in. Now, why is it every time we look at a red pill dude, they look like this dude here? I remember when I posted his picture up in the community panel, and everybody was cracking up. But for some reason, he thinks he's the bomb. Why is it? K. Brown is in the house. Let's listen and see what's going on.
Treat you so differently. When I was younger, people would be nicer to me. Like they would go out of their way to talk to me, smile at me, hold doors open. But as I've gotten older, what I'm noticing is that people, they don't do that. It's almost like you become slowly more and more invisible. I feel like the only people that really see me are other middle-aged women. You know, it's like we give each other this knowing look.
Went through the ceremony, you're building a life together. But let's just say you don't have any kids. You're going to come back out on the dating market to find another desirable man because you don't want an
The thing is I guarantee you he thinks he's desirable. They all do. They all do. That's the one thing about the Manosphere dudes is not one of them is realistic. They all have this weird thing that there's something about them that makes them deserve a high-end woman.
desirable man, do you? You want a man that's desired by other women.
No.
Correct?
Women aren't looking for, it might end up that way because the guy might be fly or the guy might be have his game down. But they didn't get with the guy because he was desired by other women. He just probably has desirable attributes or seemingly desirable attributes.
Correct?
You're living in a pipe dream if you think that you're going to attract a man when you're making multiple six figures. That's going to be, and I'm sorry, you don't look that sexual to me. I'm just being honest. You don't look like you're giving.
And it's funny because the example right here, this woman, what is it? What is it with the Manosphere that they try to shame women's sexual level? The sexual market value. What kind of shit is that? Women want to be valued. Women might want to have to be sexy to their man, but they're not trying to sleep with everybody. So that sexual market value thing is a bunch of BS coming from an old guy who's not even around anymore. That is right there, right, should tell you what's going down, what's wrong in life. So let me get that guy out of the way. Because I'll tell you exactly, I'm going to tell you exactly how women think about what this guy said. Let me bring it back to him for 1 second.
Went through the ceremony, you're building a life together. But let's just say you don't have any kids. You're going to come back out on the dating market to find another desirable man.
It's mind-boggling. The more and more that men
I'm going to say this loud.
Break it down.
That you, black men, can understand. We don't care. God damn it. Why do y'all think that everything is about what you like and what you want and blah, blah, blah? We don't care.
Yeah.
Woman's 35 and she ain't got kids yet. She's really panicking.
No,
So
you know what's funny? It's here we go again. This guy's going to prison, right? And he's trying to tell you how women think. After going to prison for misusing women, for abusing women.
start to say things like kids, family. You can mention that shit. Listen.
This is how delusional they are. And these guys These guys are literally sucking this guy's eggplant. Literally sucking his eggplant because he's lying to them. That's the funny part. That is the funny part. Hey, I got more here. What do I want to do? What do I want to put on the mix next? How about this one?
People are like, Brittany, you're going to hit the wall. You're going to be ugly. And it's like, joke's on you. I already was ugly growing up. So I already know what it's like to be ugly and undesirable. Thank you.
Hey everyone, Chloe here and welcome back to my channel. So this video will be all about addressing a huge elephant in the hypergamous room, and that very uncomfortable issue is discussing getting older, father time and aging, and more specifically about men hitting the wall. And this is a very important topic for women to fully grasp, for women to fully understand, for women to fully comprehend, because you won't see too many videos about men and aging on YouTube, especially as it pertains to hypergamy, marriage, and dating, because there is a huge distortion and a huge misconception from both men and women that men don't age, and there's a lot of make-believe and delusion and the stroking of egos on the part of men who want and need to believe that aging and getting older is only reserved and only applies to women. And many of these Dusty Dans and Red Pill rejects and MGTOW clowns are not that bright. They lack insight, and a lot of men think that they can fly to Brazil or the Dominican Republic with $10 in their wallet and live a life of leisure on white sand beaches.
J. Rillo, she's talking about you.
Or that they can somehow call in a mail order bride from Russia that doesn't talk back. And a lot of bitter men delude themselves into this thinking that all men
bitter bandits
age like fine wine, like a Merlot or a Cabernet, while all women who age will get fat or age like milk or like rotting bananas, when nothing could be further from the truth, because men can age pretty badly as well. Now, all of us are aging, and from the minute we're born, the clock is ticking, and none of us have the power to get back what happened yesterday. Some of you who are listening are in your teens, your 20s, some of you are in your 30s, some of you are 40 and over, but aging happens to all of us. However, I have noticed that aging is also a very sensitive and a very triggering topic for a lot of people, because people do not like to be reminded that father time comes for everyone, and that father time comes for everyone's scalp and everyone's edges, and women do not like to be reminded that high school cheerleaders will eventually turn into grandmothers, and people in general do not like to be reminded that they are getting older or that they're middle-aged. People do not like to think about death. People do not like to think about dying, and people do not like to think about caskets or the grave or the headstone. But that is exactly why I started this channel, because what we do, ladies, with our time on earth is so important, and a lot of us waste our time and our energy on people and places and spaces that do not serve us well, and experiences that do not help us live our best lives. And a lot of us hand over, we give it away.
Just pause it up for a minute. Indie House, Indiana Mom is in the house. I want to break it down like this. We are going to dive into another Kendra G production.
Got me.
We can't see your face, boo.
You can now.
I can see your face now. What's your name?
Tyrone.
Tyrone, where you
going? Oh no, Tyrone. You better call Tyrone. Call him. If you want to get your dust out of here, you better call Tyrone. Damn, I sound good tonight. Yeah, but you can't use his phone.
Where us from?
I'm calling from out Washington State.
Washington State. How old are you?
I am 54.
54. What do you do for a living?
I am
54, y'all. 54. Let me make sure the volume's all the way up.
I'm an airline cargo supervisor.
Airline cargo supervisor. You have any kids?
I have 4 kids.
4 kids. Okay, how old are your kids?
I have 2 older children that are with my ex-wife that are 34, 31. And then I have 2 younger ones that are 4 and 8.
4 and 8. Same. How many women?
2 women.
2 women. The woman that has your kids, 4 and 8, same woman?
Yes.
Why you not with her?
Too young.
Too young?
Yup.
You had 2 kids by her though.
Yeah.
You
And
learned
then
a lesson?
Yes, I did.
Are you listening, y'all? Y'all remember this guy? 4 and 8. Yeah. Let's see. Let me roll this back a little bit. Here we go.
Yeah.
You
And
learned
then
a
You know,
lesson.
Kendra, the problem with Kendra sometimes is that her expressions are easy to read, whether she wants to or not. She is disgusted, right? She's already disgusted. Okay, let me feel it.
Yes.
Why you not with her?
Too young.
Too
So
young?
he gets with the woman, right? Okay. He says the reason he's not with her is because she's too young. Last I checked, she was probably too young before you knocked her up and had 2 kids with her. I mean, the thing is this, it's different if, you know, oh, well, she's young, but who knows, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But you don't ruin her life. No, he has 2 kids with her. Let me let this roll on.
Yup.
You had 2 kids by her though.
Yeah.
You
And
learned
then
a lesson?
Yes, I did.
All right. Okay. This is Tyrone, Washington State, 54, airline cargo supervisor, 4 kids. When's your birthday?
June 27th.
What is that, a Gemini or a Cancer?
Cancer.
Cancer. What kind of
Yup.
woman you looking for, Tyrone?
Somebody honest and mature and got their own thing going on.
Honest, mature. What's some
Columbus Hill in the house.
deal breakers for you?
Immature. Petty.
Petty?
Yup.
Immature, petty. What's the age range you want to date?
At least 40 to 50.
I guess he did learn. But what's funny to me is look how he's taking that oh poor me angle.
So you want to go to 40. So how old is your child's mom that has your 4 and 8-year-old?
27.
So what did you learn in dating a woman of her age?
That the maturity level don't grow until at least 35 or 40.
Well, when do you figure that out? I mean, so he's 55 now. So at the very least, he was 48 when he met this woman who would then have been 22. Okay? So it's on him completely. What is he thinking?
So now you want somebody closer to your age.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was fool's gold is what it was. I thought the maturity would grow with children and it got worse.
Wait a minute. See, he's taking cheap shots when he knows dang well he himself said that she was too young. What he should have said is that he was too old. In the house, a lady corrected me. She was 19. She was 19 when this old fogey met her. Man, Timmy from the chat in the house, M. Mills, Columbus Hill, Teresa M. in the house. Man, I mean, think about it. Look, fellas, if you want to literally raid the cradle, you have to take full responsibility for the results. You want to go by that, oh yeah, if I get them young, I can control them and stuff. People grow up. Number one, it's kind of disgusting, but people grow up. She didn't get less mature. I guarantee you, that young lady, she didn't get less mature. She probably got more mature and realized she was with a creep, and he didn't like it. That's what happened. That's what happened.
Ooh, really? So, do you want more kids?
No, I think I'm done with kids.
Okay. Could
Yeah.
the woman already have kids then?
Yeah.
Okay. Does she have to be in Washington?
No.
Does she got to make a certain amount of money?
No. She gotta have her own thing though. I mean, she gotta have her own life. She gotta have her own life. She gotta have her own people, her friends. She gotta be able to go out and do her own thing and be able to live her life outside of our relationship instead of counting on me to be that one person. That was the deal breaker. The 27-year-old, yeah.
Wait a minute. See how he's taking the victim role? When if a woman is 19, she's either barely out of college or not even in college. Yes, you're going to take care of a 19-year-old. Notice how he's trying to use what the age she is now as an excuse. Okay? Jenny B is in the house. Notice how he's playing that. He's not saying, yeah, I met her when she was 19. Camel! Getting in caskets is in the house. Notice how he's trying to play that freaking game. Oh, that 27-year-old. You mean 19-year-old if you want to talk about when you met her.
Have no life. And I was supposed to stay home and no.
Okay. All right. So you got to have your own life.
So he's pretty much whether it's true or not, he's shelving it as if she was controlling him, not the other way around. Yeah. Degree of Solution says this. Now he understands that a woman is a human being and has to have her own life. Correct. The words are switching now. Correct.
Tyrone, does she got to make a certain amount of money?
No.
Okay.
She gotta have a job. She gotta have a job.
So listen, it's 3:00 in the morning. Your light's not terrible, but I feel like we can get better light for you.
You can feel like what?
I feel like you have a better light. You have light in your house that you can face it because we can see you, but I feel like, okay, that's better.
How's that?
Perfect right there. See?
Yeah.
That's so much better. The key to light, people, is you want the light in your face. All right, Tyrone.
Yeah, Clemenceau breaks it down like this. He followed the manosphere talking point in that you got a young woman and then left her barefoot and pregnant cornball. Yep, basically. That's what they preach, just get them young, because if that wasn't the case, then why do they try to shame women about hitting the wall? Right? They wouldn't shame women about hitting the wall if it wasn't about getting literally robbing the cradle, as that we called it back in the day.
So you said you'll date 40 and up, right?
Yeah.
Does the woman gotta look a certain way? Do you have an appearance requirement?
No, I mean, I prefer to at least be healthy and athletic looking and, be able to take a walk and do something once in a while.
Okay. Does he look healthy and athletic to you? I mean, don't get me wrong. He doesn't look like straight up a mess, obese, but he's not in that great a shape. He's not in that great a shape. So he's already asking for something he himself cannot provide.
Okay, she got to be athletic. All right. So, why would a woman be lucky to be with you?
Yeah, M. Mills, you broke it down. She was still a kid, and he should not have been messing with her. Exactly. I mean, he was dating there. Even when you subtract 8 years, right? That makes him like 40, 48, 47. He shouldn't have been around her. And see, that's the thing. That's the important point. He should have been going, hey, he should have said, hey, Kendra, I shouldn't have been. She was very young and I made a mistake. Notice how he never said he made the mistake. That's very important to point out.
I'm mature. I got my own thing. I'm not petty. You know, I'm
remember now, he's just a prerequisite. I'm about to go to somebody that y'all have heard about recently.
Honest. I'm faithful. That's one of my problems I dealt with the 27-year-old. He
shouldn't even be bringing her up because it's hers. He's only pointing out to those who know, who are in the know, that he was a creep. He says 27-year-old because it sounds better. She might be 27-year-olds now, but she wasn't that when he met her. Quita Ward in the house. He wasn't 27. She wasn't 27 when he met her. Even then, that would have been, even if you said, even then, it would still sound weird, but he still did it. He doesn't want to say that, look, I was a creep and it didn't work out. Yeah, he did laugh. Teresa, good point. Good catch. He laughed when he said he was faithful, and we know he wasn't. Creeps are rarely faithful.
Stay at home long enough, you know, when she wanted to go somewhere because she was missing out on things. 27 years old, you got 2 kids, and you had them when you was 22.
Yeah. See? Notice how he's just putting everything on his plate. He didn't have to make her pregnant. He was the head of the house, right? He knew he literally took a young lady, almost a girl, put 2 kids in her, and now is mad because she grew up. But
what? Okay, so real quick, Tyrone, do you take any responsibility for choosing a woman of her age?
Oh yeah.
No, you don't. No, notice how Kendra had to bring it up. He didn't say anything about taking responsibility or make any type of reference or phrase that would make you think that he was taking responsibility for the 27-year-old who was really 19 when he met her.
Yeah, she was young when I met her, but the maturity level when I met her.
Oh shit! You notice how he spun it around now. Listen now. Now he's trying to blame it on her maturity and not his mistake that maybe she was too young for him. Not maybe, she was too young for him.
When I met her, but the maturity level when I met her was completely different.
No, it wasn't. She just stopped doing what he said. She stopped being obedient because he probably wasn't being a good leader. She probably started holding him accountable and he didn't like that. She did the right thing. I don't know who left who, but she did the right thing staying away from this dude. The young woman was probably thinking that he had leadership skills. Exactly. And found out she had to be the leader. Exactly. In the relationship. And he was lazy as hell. Yep. Cornball. Yep. Boom. Columbus Hill. You got it.
Once it got to the point of when the kids came, then it was, oh, well, I ain't got no life. I got 2 kids and I don't get to go do what my other friends is doing at 27 years old. I said, well, that's the choice you made, you know.
Wait a minute. See, man, this dude right here is a piece of work. He's a piece of work. So what if I got you out of the cradle? You know, so what if I manipulated you, even though I was almost 3 times your age at the time I met you, blah, 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 blah. That's what he's saying. You see what I'm saying? That's just plain mean.
So, you know, we had a life, a house, you know. I mean, I provided,
The
but
comment said you took her life. She was a kid. What do you say to that?
what now?
Someone said you took her life. She was a kid. What do you say to that?
No. She said she doesn't have a life. She's got.
No, you see, he's acting like, and he might not get it because, you know, these manosphere dudes have low comprehension. The woman in Kendra's chat said it right. What the woman was saying is that you took her life. She was a kid. Why are you even blaming her? You were literally, she was a child. It's different if you were like 22, but you weren't, dude. Then you guys would have had the same mentality. The bottom line is this: she wasn't in the same mentality as you, but you were just creepy.
Kids, she doesn't have a life anymore at 27 years old. And I'm thinking, well, we decided.
Obviously, she said she didn't have a life anymore because of him. That didn't sink into him. Because if he was such a cool, exciting dude and liked to do a lot of stuff, she would have. I don't know if it would have helped a little bit, but it would have been. She wouldn't feel like life was passing her by. It sounded like to me what he did is he just wanted this young lady to sit home all day, every day, and take care of the kids and tend to him. Because he's been an old man for a long time.
Have 2 children. That was your decision. You didn't just, all of a sudden decide that you were going to have 2 kids and you were still going to be in the club.
Jenny B said this, and men swear women trap them. Yeah. Don't let a Dusty see you preparing for college or something big. The moment he gets a chance, he's going to ruin it. Exactly.
With your friends that don't have kids.
So she was 27 after 2 kids. How old was she when she had the first kid?
20.
20. How low was you at the time?
I was almost 48.
So what at 48 made you want to date a girl that was 20?
She
Wait, let's go back. That's freaking important.
Time.
I was almost 48.
So what at 48 made you want to date a girl that was 20?
She seemed mature when we first started seeing each other.
She seemed mature.
Yeah, she seemed mature. And then we started seeing each other. Things were the same.
No accountability whatsoever. None.
The immaturity came after the children. That's the thing I don't understand. The immaturity came after the children.
Okay.
No, she started to grow up. What he's saying is immaturity was her becoming more mature and realizing that he was a loser and becoming more independent. But he's trying to sell the maturity level, okay? He's trying to sell the maturity level as the reason why they broke up. Had nothing to do with that.
Now you want to be single with 2 children and be able to go and do
now notice how he didn't say now you want to be single with our children, with 2 children. Okay? Notice how he's taking no accountability whatsoever. Oh man, this is crazy.
Want to do, well, that's a little too late.
Okay.
Wow.
So now you guys just co-parent well?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Tyrone and Washington.
Okay, I guess she's mature enough to take care of the kids, because if he was as as if she was as immature as he's trying to make her be or make her seem like, then she would have been too immature to take care of both of his kids. Right?
State, right?
Yep.
He's 54. He only age 40 and up now. He doesn't want any more kids. He has 4 kids. He's an airline cargo supervisor. He's a Cancer. Why would a woman be lucky to be with you?
I'm an honest man. I don't have time to be immature anymore. I'm stable.
Oh, now I don't have time to be immature anymore. That's what he said. You notice it don't take long. It doesn't take long. Exactly, Quita. Exactly, Quita. Boom.
I got a job. I've been on my job 25 years.
He's been on his job for 25 years and he's just a supervisor. Now, I'm not saying there's anything bad with that, but look, obviously, I mean, how were you 8 years ago? I mean, man. Oh, yeah, is in the house. Oh, yes, says this. That's why I can't stand Kendra's chittering or get dating. So sometimes I would be booted. I would have booted him up as soon as he stated the black man. Yeah. Yep. His black male age. Yep.
I got stability. I got maturity. I'm honest.
Now, remember now, he just said he's not mature. Remember, he just said he wasn't, I mean, he didn't say he was mature. He said he's now mature or he's no longer immature. But now he's saying he's got maturity when really he's single, right?
I'm fun loving. I like having fun. So.
All right, let's do it. This
one gotta be doesn't like having fun. See, look where we are on this dating show. First of all, this is not this is not really supposed to be a relationship show. It's supposed to be a dating show. And it throws off a lot of the red pill dudes because they don't get it. They always say, why doesn't Kendra do this and do this kind of camera shit and that kind of camera? Because it's supposed to be a dating show. He should have been talking about he first of all shouldn't have been, you know what we know most about from him? Is his former ex. The one that he pumped 2 babies in. We know more about her than we do. Okay, what does he like to do for fun? What does he like to do for fun? Anybody want to tell me? What does this gentleman who like to do for fun? He's on a dating show. Okay? What is his favorite pastime? What are his passions in life? We don't even know because, we do know. We know he pumped 2 babies in a woman that was almost 30 years younger than him. And then got mad at her for acting her age, and then got mad at her for growing up. I know that much. I know he's working in a job that's not necessarily a high-end, high six-figure job. That's for sure. That's what we do know. Does he like football? We don't know because he was too busy complaining. And see, they're all like this. They're all like this. The conversation, you have to remember, the conversation didn't have to go this way. He could have been saying, oh, man, I made my mistakes, but I want to move forward. Kendra, let's talk about what I like to do in life and the positive. This guy has nothing to offer anybody. Regardless of age, he has nothing to offer anyone. There's nothing there. There is nothing there. Nothing. There's nothing. He's useless.
No.
No? Could she have children?
She can have children, yeah.
When was your last relationship?
This last one. It was probably
Okay.
that was December, right before Christmas.
You don't have to answer the question, but I'm gonna ask it. When was the last time you was intimate with a woman?
With her, right before Christmas.
Oh, okay. Are you done with sleeping with her?
Yeah.
Okay.
It didn't work. It didn't work. It was something that maybe was gonna bring things back together, but no, it didn't. It didn't work. That age ain't changing just because you having sex.
LM broke it down. LM's in the house. Dating 20-year-olds is his passion and goal. Basically, that's all we got. You can't get mad at us for thinking that because that's all we know.
Okay. All right, Tyrone, what's your IG?
Tyrone Horton 09.
Horton 09. So
Yeah.
Tyrone TYRONE HORTON 09. If
Yeah.
you want to get to know him, ladies, he said 40 and up. He doesn't want any more kids, so he's okay with you having children. You said they don't have to be in Washington, right?
No.
Okay.
I work for the airlines. I fly free.
That's true. He flies
I
free, so
fly
he could be
free.
anywhere. He's a Cancer. He has 4 kids though. So let's see what it does. And you got to be
Wait, did he
honest.
say he have 4 kids? Wait a minute. Let me bring that back. I thought he said he has 4 kids. She said he had 4 kids.
Airlines. I work for the airlines. I fly free.
That's true. He flies free, so you could be anywhere. He's a Cancer. He has 4 kids though. So let's.
Oh, he has 4 kids. So it sounds like to me he had 2 more kids. Clean up. Oh man. Horton. Oh man. So he has 4 kids. So he already had 2 kids before he robbed the cradle. Four kids total. So who's the common denominator? You see it.
See what it does. And you got to be honest, mature. You don't want no petty, immature woman.
Yep.
All right, Tyrone, I appreciate you coming on late
All right,
night.
Kendra, thank you. I enjoy you.
Okay, let me pause this for a minute. Man, I got to take 1 second. I got to take a break for a second just to get my breath. Okay. Y'all ain't going to believe it. Okay. This is going to get really interesting right now. Let me tell you, it's going to get really interesting right now. We're not even to the meat yet. We're not even to the meat. Here we go.
I came across this story about Irv Gotti not being able to find love on the Bourbon
From Black Girls Living Well. Irv Gotti.
Bougie channel. Irv Gotti, age 53, whose real name is Irving Lorenzo, is a prominent figure in the music industry. He gained fame as a record executive, producer, and founder of Murder Inc. Records, a record label that played a significant role in the hip-hop and R&B scene. Through his work, Irv Gotti has been associated with artists like Ja Rule, Ashanti, and DMX, contributing to the success of numerous hit songs and albums. He recently sold his catalog for $300 million.
Jay Brown in the house. Queen Ward in the house. Jenny B in the house.
Despite his achievements, he has also faced legal and professional challenges over the years. In the video shared on Burb and Bougie, Irv Gotti mentioned that a 26-year-old Dominican woman that he was involved with...
Well, here we go. Here we go.
...asked him for $25,000. He is afraid that he'll never find love because women only want him for his money. The link to the...
Well, she assessed the situation that he wasn't worth anything else but that. Wait till we get into the whole story.
The video on Burb and Bougie is in the video description. Please check it out for her perspective on this topic. In this video, we're going to take a look at a few comments. Let me know what you think about this story in the comments. Thanks for watching. Is there a reason why he wouldn't go for older women who are in his age bracket and perhaps have different...
Right, let's talk about that. He's 53. The other guy was 55, right? Why don't these dudes ever learn their lesson? What did he expect? I mean, there's a point, there's a phrase, and I'm going to keep saying it probably for a long time tonight, is what did you expect? It's like they want women literally 30 years younger than them to save them. Not taking any expectations whatsoever. I mean, it's crazy.
Different life goals and perspectives when compared to a 26-year-old, because Irv Gotti and dudes like him don't want love. They want starry-eyed adoration and a power imbalance in which barely out of their teens women obey and are heavily reliant on older men. Irv's got inverse daddy issues. These dudes have daughter issues. He's got...
Yeah, so true. The treason says, I can't. Rula Tomasi doing these dudes dirty with this advice. Straight up. Straight up. It's not, you wouldn't call it pedo, technically, but it's still kind of a pedo-ish culture. A pedo-ish culture. These men are expecting women 30 years younger than them to be compatible to them. They really are.
To stop dating in the US. The US isn't the place for what he wants. I would go to Brazil or South Africa if I were him. Brazilian women do not want these men. Please be serious. Leave us out of it. Either be a sugar daddy or find someone your age. Why is he in his 50s seeking 20-year-olds? You're a sugar daddy. Has it ever occurred to him that maybe working on himself...
Exactly, M. Mills. It's grooming.
...and pursuing women his age might do the trick? A few things...
Right.
I thought
I gotta
men
bring
said
that
women...
back because that was well said.
20-year-olds. You're a sugar daddy. Has it ever occurred to him that maybe working on himself and pursuing women his age might do the trick?
Working on himself was the very important part of that. See, what happens is this. These men, they're emotionally trash. I'm not going to call them trash. They're emotionally trash. So really right there off the bat, other than money, they're not worth anything else. And then the women still are working to get that money because they have to take all this mental abuse from this dude, if not other sort of other abuse. So it's not like the money's free. She probably earned every bit of that $30,000, okay? Man.
A few things. I thought men said women in their 20s were better than older women. Also, I thought men said it would be older women complaining about not being able to find love.
Queen of War, sour daddy, not sugar daddy, but sour daddy.
Also, wasn't it men who said that men with money can have whoever they want regardless of his age or his looks? I'm just confused because what I'm seeing displayed here is something different than what men have been spewing. A man in his 50s seeking a relationship with someone 2 decades younger raises questions about compatibility.
Oh.
Perhaps he should focus on self-improvement and consider connecting with someone closer to his age.
Yeah.
Sir, you are 53 years old. Date women of your age group and leave those young enough to be your daughter alone.
Oh.
He had that woman. It was his wife who he cheated on numerous times and told her she couldn't ever find another man like him. Now he old and lonely looking for true love.
Yeah.
Irv Gotti is literally 10 years from receiving Medicare and he still thinks like this?
He broke it down. That is black girls living well. I swear. I mean, that broke it down. We still got more about Irv. Oh, Irv Gotti, we got more. We got more for you. This ain't gonna be good. How did we get? How do these men like Irv and like the airport worker? How did they get here? Let's dig deeper. Let's dig a little bit deeper here in the house. Tomas. Got it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Impressive Channel. There is some interesting tea that was recently spilled about Ashanti and her former label owner, Irv Gotti. Now, some of y'all may know that Ashanti was previously signed to the record label Murder Inc. In fact, she was one of the biggest artists on the label alongside Joules, and she had a very successful solo career in the early 2000s. But while she was signed to Murder Inc., she did develop a relationship with the CEO, Irv Gotti. Irv Gotti,
who was already married, by the way. These guys can't keep themselves. They can't keep themselves to themselves. Greedy and Petey. Greedy and Petey.
and Ashanti had a very complicated relationship because they were not only in business together, but they also were in a romantic relationship. And things did get a little murky when Murder Inc. dissolved. And I actually did a whole breakdown about this in my Ashanti documentary. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. But when Murder Inc. dissolved, Ashanti did leave.
I mean, it just shows you that this is hip hop culture right here. Exploitation of Black women left and right. It's like, if you work for me, you sleep with me. That's basically what they were trying to. That's basically what was going down. Cyber Dreams to the stage. How you doing?
Oh
Cyber?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Hello, Torch. Where Darnell so I can apologize to him? I've been thinking about that all day.
I've been thinking about that all night. Quite honestly, it's like this. First of all, you did apologize to him already. Second of all, I think you've done your job. The thing is that I really have a small problem with him because he was starting to raise his voice a little bit. And
that's understandable, but the food came out. It was just it just slipped out.
Right. But I understand that. But see, I guess my point is this, Cyber. It's like, I understand that, but a man who's in control of his emotions. Number one, you've seen how many times people call me fool or whatever, and I barely bat an eye. So the thing is that wasn't enough, because I thought about it. I thought about it a lot last night, right? I said to myself, it was wrong for him to call her a fool, but it didn't prompt the response that came from him. It wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't, especially. And I'll tell you why, Cyber. If you have ever watched him on other panels, fool would have been the softest they would have referred to him as.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
It was justified.
The thing is that a lot of the times he didn't have that same energy back when they were calling him worse than that.
It was just, I don't want him to think that I care so much about him. So it's more like, it's like he couldn't understand anything that you were saying to him at the moment. It was just like, are you purposely doing this? Or are you just, he gives off.
I know some other people think he's doing it on purpose. Whether it is or not, it doesn't matter. But they thought it was on purpose, and it drives them nuts.
It drove me completely off my square, and the food came out, and it was was more of a me calling him that was very respectable, because I could have said a whole lot of other things, But
that's the thing. It's like, I mean, this room has matured greatly. Back, 4 months, it was kind of like a roast room in some ways, but it's matured a great deal thanks to the help of a lot of background people who I won't thank right now because they don't want their name out there, but they did a great job getting this channel where it is now. But this is that the thing that a lot of men need to understand is that when just because somebody says something to you that they might not like, whether it was being called a fool or something misstated, doesn't mean you're supposed to just go off the rocker, if you know what I mean. You're supposed to, You can reply. You see what I'm saying? You can say that wasn't right. That's not cool. But to go like that doesn't help anybody. That doesn't help anybody. That just shows you that you can easily get out of your frame easy. People think that's a weakness. Showing restraint and then retorting the comment makes a much better statement to those who know. But yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, no, nobody should call anybody a name out of their name or a name.
Correct.
No. But at the same time,
I was wrong for that. But it was just too much.
Yeah. At the same time, he went overboard, in my opinion.
It didn't really faze me at all, but I don't want to derail the show. I just have to ask a question about these guys that's calling Kendra. I thought it was women who out here that's lonely without nobody.
Right.
I see a lot of these supposed to be seasoned veterans in the dating out here calling Kendra. That's desperado to me.
Exactly. Then we got old Irv Gotti right here, big baller, all this kind of stuff. Mad because somebody who's 30 years younger than him only wants him for money. And will not take any. The key word is accountability. It's like, bro, if you want to rob cradles, then you just take that L when it comes along. That's my point.
So why is Irv Gotti so afraid to be a provider?
You got me. Probably. I don't see. The thing is that the way these men grew up, they didn't grow up in a way that made them responsible men. They don't get me wrong. He obviously had a talent because he made, he was, I guess, technically successful. But now he sounds like he's the type of person who has hit the wall. Okay. He sounds like he hit the wall and he's going to die alone because he's complaining about it right now. Let me play a little bit more of this.
And Irv Gotti was upset about that, and he's still upset about it to this day. Now, in one of the recent episodes of Growing Up Hip Hop New York, Irv Gotti revealed that he wanted to do a reunion tour for Murder Inc., but he didn't want to invite Ashanti because he still had issues.
That's the funny part is Ashanti is like Ashanti is Murder Inc. That's the funny part. And see how funny it is that a grown man can't even bury the hatchet. Yeah, exactly.
They drag Ashanti so much because she's up in her age and she's single, no children. They drag her back.
And that's the sad part is that it's.
But Irv Gotti, he didn't age very well.
No, he did not.
These guys aren't doing any self-improvement. They're not doing anything.
Right. I mean, older men, you can't use that excuse. Well, I'm up there in age. That's why, I can't see my feet. You can't use excuses like that.
Ladies, I ran today.
You gotta get your guns on, you got to work out, get your guns on, and then obviously date appropriately, They don't want to do that.
Yeah, I ran today. Make sure you guys run on your off day and drink plenty of water, ladies.
Choose with her.
It's crazy. We doing this whole tour.
Right.
We got this Murder Inc. reunion tour. And it's really dope. Like, we're doing the whole story, telling the whole story of Murder Inc. Ja will open and close the show. Fat Joe will be there, Fabulous. You know what I'm saying? Possibly Jadakiss, Little Mo. The tricky thing.
He fumbled the bag
with the
too,
Murder Inc. reunion tour.
Did he?
Yeah, he had a big indictment back in the day where he had to pay up a lot of money.
See,
because they want to be street goons so bad. These men want to be street people so bad.
Yeah. And they succeeded. You know, they want to keep the bandit-thon going. The bandit-thon.
You know, you ever watch the war on drugs documentaries and the gang documentaries? You ever watch that?
Actually, I might have, but it's been a while. Break it down.
For all of the trauma and atrocities that were committed by these people back in the day, wouldn't it be in the male's best to go?
Oops. I'm sorry. Can you say that over again?
I said from all of the documentaries and the gangs, they actually showed murders on TV, right? Black males laid out at gas stations and whatnot. Wouldn't it be in these males' best interest not to go down that route? What is compelling them to want this lifestyle so much?
That is the question of the century right there. And it is the core reason why the community is the way it is. What you just said is extremely profound, because that is the problem that us Black men have ultimately.
We got over crack. We got over crack. Everybody's not doing crack anymore, right?
Right.
When are we going to get over this? The street life.
Right. It's too embedded right now in the programming. Or as Sinji would call it, the pathology. It's too embedded. We need to reprogram ourselves, and we aren't willing to take in the new programming. We don't want to download new firmware. We don't want to download new software and improve ourselves. That's generally our problem.
We have the government talking about aliens. We have AI coming in. Like that lifestyle is a pastime now. No one's doing that anymore. That's why, Young Thug, I was so like, are you serious? Young Thug, all the money that he had, and you have to be in debt? Like,
yep. Exactly.
Same with Tory. Like, you a millionaire and you have to have a weapon and shoot at someone?
Exactly. That was just utterly, extremely stupid. And what's funny is this. The dumbest part was he didn't even take any accountability for it, and then went as far as harassing her after shooting her in the foot. His life is over. People probably think, oh yeah, he's gonna get out. He's still got all his money. No.
I think they all praise Tupac. Tupac went to prison for rape, and came out. And he came out of prison and made a double platinum album. He is the the forefather of thug lifestyle. Tupac, and they praise him.
Man. In the house, Spicy Black Tina. In the house, Big Cap. In the house, Teresa M. In the house, Love Letters to L. In the house, Kim Lee Moon. In the house, Jenny B. In the house, Peter Ward. Let's keep it going.
Is I really don't with some of them.
We know. Like who? We know. Do you want to say names or no?
I can say names.
Or should I say names?
I say names. A piece of me.
No, Shanti, she looks better now than she did in that picture.
Yeah. Ashanti's fine.
She looks better now than she did in that picture.
Yeah.
When she was younger. These men would suck the life out of you, ladies.
Yeah. Yep, let go or be dragged. Then proverb For the Manosphere. All right, the trees in the house. Let me play a little bit more of this. Wait, you know something? I want to play this other one. Listen to this.
Man. I mean,
I
I
was-
don't even know if I should say this.
Okay, let me. I'm gonna play this over again because you need to know how low this men like this are.
Man. I mean, I don't even know if I should say this. You know, there were threats. There were threats. You know, me dealing with Nelly. You know, there was death threats. You know, I mean, I don't know how serious they were because, you know, again, you try to personify this person that you're really not. But when
Towards
you're
you?
saying, not towards me, towards who I was dealing with.
Wow, you see how trashy he is.
So he was stalking her.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I know Ashanti been attractive. I'm saying that picture with her with Irv Gotti, she looks better now than that picture.
Ashanti, George. Okay, let me break it down. Here's where it gets messy, folks.
You know, with Ashanti, it is a delicate situation. She is a big part of Murder Inc. The fans want that. Everybody wants that. It's weird. Just how I have my version of what has happened with me and Ashanti, she has her version.
And I have my version.
We were still married, but we were separated when they were dating.
Man, okay.
George.
See, okay.
So I went to a Ashanti concert like 2 years ago. It was at the LA Farm, the old Lakers stadium.
Uh-huh.
I loved it, but it was the old music of Ashanti, right? Why is Ashanti still with Murder Inc. after 20 years?
I don't know.
What type of contract did she sign with this man?
That's hard to say. I don't know.
20 years? 30 years? Still with Murder Inc.?
I don't know if she's still with him, but I guess she got the right to the songs, you know, to sing them, perform them. Let's see what happens here. See, the thing is this is what bothers me. What he should have been saying is, look, I didn't have, it wasn't my place to mess with her in the first place. And this is why the hip hop culture is so, it's not all that it's cracked up to be. It really was extremely misogynist and it was very, very pedo-ish. Very pedo-ish. Grabbing young, you know, girls 12, 13, 14, like Lauryn Hill and company, and exploiting them. Instead of being extremely professional and saying, look, this is a young lady, let's make sure that we keep a professional, you know, atmosphere here in the studio. They couldn't even do that. Predatory. Perfect. Well said, Kim Lee Moon.
I was used to it from the beginning, like him going and traveling. I just wasn't used to the women. That was like new, like.
He cheated on his wife, and then he treated Ashanti like trash.
Those come from.
You know, I
You
think.
wanted people to forgive you when you do stuff?
Don't talk about the cheat.
Uh-oh, here he goes. Here's the real him. Here's the real him coming out. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why his ex-girlfriend, I guess, wanted $30,000 to put up with crap like this. That's why they asked for the big bucks. When a gold digger digs for gold, she earns that money.
I'm a good chip off the old block.
Remember now, he knows he's getting, this is him acting good right now. This is him acting good right now. I guarantee you he's worse in private.
Good chip off the old block. Aside from the infidelities. You know, in my crazy mind, I thought that was life. This is my wife.
Him being in his infidelity means he thinks that's a little thing. Like a lot of the red pill system does. See, that's the funny thing about the red pill system is they don't tell you about they only tell you about the women that messed them over, not the multiple women they messed over. That's the sad and interesting part.
And it just shows how mammy they is. Why we excuse me. Why she sitting up in there talking to this man?
Right. Right. It's
okay. Somebody said that she's not with Murder Inc. anymore. That's good. So why he bringing up Ashanti?
Right. Exactly. But either maybe he's bringing her up for clout because really, quite honestly, she is way more famous than he is.
I agree, Big Cap. I didn't want to say it at first, but I'm glad you said that. I agree. I was going to say something about dating married men. Yeah. Women, ladies, never date a married man. It's too many men out here.
Yeah. Even if they say they're separated, it doesn't matter. Yeah, Love Letter says he's still hurt.
This is my family, but this bitch is here to suck my.
I don't want to hear that.
What? What the? See,
so basically, he tried to slut her out, and she got on.
Right.
You know, a lot of ladies go down that route. It's very uncomfortable. You know, like I told you, I used to be into the music thing, and I got a lot of uncomfortable situations where I just had to I said, you know, this is not for me.
Right.
These men, they claim they got all these women, but then I'm paying for studio time, but you're gawking after me, but you got all these girls and all these women that want you. But you know, I had a very traumatic experience in the studio before. So
shout out to Razor Rays. Thanks for the $2 super chat. Mike Whitehead is in the house as well. I was on Razor Ray's panel a couple days ago. It was really interesting.
Razor Ray's he gonna come for my head for what I said yesterday. I was just saying that he not Kevin Samuels. Like, come on, he not. Razor Ray's, my bad. I wasn't really, you know. You don't got the Kevin Samuels look, Razor Ray's. That's all I was trying to say.
Well, you know, I'll say this. Believe it or not, Razor Ray's is better looking than Kevin, but Kevin dressed better than Razor. But Razor's usually just wearing a tank top, you know. But
yeah,
no, I mean,
Razor needs to switch it up one time, please, Razor.
Yeah, Razor on one of your next and definitely send me a link.
And buy a new hat.
One live. I would be cool to see you in a suit, Razor.
Yeah, buy a new hat. Get you a hat that's fitted.
Yeah.
And get rid of the do-rag, Razor. That's all we want to see.
Okay, let's keep this going right here.
I don't want to hear that. I literally don't want to throw up.
Is there any benefit?
Okay, this is, believe it or not, this is the meat right here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the meat of the live. The guy's relatively unknown, at least to most of us. He is a Kevin Samuelite, and he's having a very interesting conversation, which caught my eye, with one minister, and she dropped some gems, and we're going to watch and see how he's trying to bend things. We're going to watch this. We're going to check it out. Here we go, guys.
Is there any benefit from dating you in your 20s that a man wouldn't be able to get now?
In where I am my age now.
Right, that he wouldn't be able to get now.
No, I would have to say no. For me personally.
So you would say for you personally, no. Okay, that's
for me personally, no.
Well, what about in general?
See, right there. And she catches on to it too. She is very intelligent, one minister. He can't speak for everybody else. She made that clear. She can't speak for everyone else. Razor Ray said, suit and tie on the way.
Thank you, Razor. We want to see, they don't understand women are visual too. We're not just emotional.
Right.
We don't want no booger whoop. Like, you see, Darnell got his hair cut and trimmed up because he was looking a hot mess too.
Yeah. So this is I already caught this. I'm into these little things, and I drive people nuts because I only go for like 10 seconds and then I'm already hitting the pause button. But listen to what he says here.
For me personally.
So
Okay,
is there any benefit from dating you in your 20s?
Is there any benefit from dating you in your 20s? I just need to say that because
he's talking about the man.
Yeah.
Being in his 20s.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
No benefit.
Camel to the stage. Good. This Camel, you came in a perfect spot.
That
Sparta. What up, Sparta?
a man wouldn't be able to get now.
So is there any advantage to a man dating her in her 20s that he wouldn't be able to get now?
In my age now.
Right, that he wouldn't be able to get now.
It's really kind of a stupid question. Let's roll with it.
I have to say no.
Yeah,
For
it's
me
wrapped in
personally,
deception.
So you would say for you personally, no. Okay, that's
for me personally, no.
Well, what
See,
about
Torch, their questions are presented in such a way it tries to make the women look stupid, so they can have the data needed to keep their narrative going.
Right, exactly. Kevin did that all the time. Scott's in the house. Hey, ladies in the house. Oya is in the house. Jenny B is in the house. Feisty Black Tina's in the house. Bridget
Scott, we
Bluchard's in the
missed
house.
you.
And on the stage, we have Camo and Creative.
We missed you, Scott.
Oh, Camo fell off. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where Camo went, but this question, I feel like I don't know what type of woman he's talking to and what is he trying to direct and say, because a 20-year-old version of a woman is different than a 30-year-old version of a woman. A woman who's in her 30s, she knows more about herself. She knows how to set boundaries. She knows how to treat you. She knows a whole lot more. So you can't do the same things that you could have got away with her when she was in her 20s.
Right.
And she could have said that.
Wait, let's see, Camo. Let me get. Okay.
Can you hear me? But she didn't say that. So I was kind of disappointed in her saying no. Like, what the hell?
Well, she caught on what he was trying to do later, but yeah, I agree. Camo, we can hear you.
Hey, I came up here. I've been trying to get up here for a while, but I couldn't get service. I came up here because I wanted to talk about that part with Ashanti, and you guys were asking what's going on with her and why she's still a part of his label. Ashanti has not been a part of that. Has not been a part of that label for years. You can play that part back. But it's a very familiar situation, if you know what I mean, DJ Torch.
Yes.
With the ownership that he has placed upon her, where basically he thinks he owns her. It has been how long? She has been gone out of Murder Inc. longer than Sierra has been married to Russell Wilson. And we see 10 years later, Future is still doing the same thing, where he has placed some type of ownership on Sierra, and he can just, to him, it's like yesterday, like almost as if these people cannot move on. You know, they have placed, I don't know. This is something that's very interesting, and I believe that it is a part of narcissism. This is very strange that it's almost like they're in a time warp where they don't realize that that woman has been married, divorced, and she's back in a relationship with Nelly again. And he's still living in a time when she was like 18, 19 years old. That's insane. That he really is like, she's not. No, she's not.
She dissolved out of her contract with Murder Inc.
Years ago. Like, it's been a very long time.
What he talking about?
I mean, to you it sounds crazy, but I know exactly what he's thinking. He's thinking basically it's like this. When Murder Inc., she was like the first woman of Murder Inc., and she's a part of the family. There's no legal binding contract, but he has binded her to his contract. To whatever he feels like
his
she
brand.
should be. So, to his brand, yes. Which is even more deeper. It's kind of spiritual to me that this man is like literally like trying to bind this woman to her, and how people are able to do that to people where you can't even break free from them. It's insane. Like, that's crazy. And we see that right here on YouTube as well, where people just think that they own you. And they can tell you what to say, what not to say, who to subscribe to, who not to subscribe to. It's a very sickening thing that is happening. And I don't see, there's some things that I hear people say, and they'll be like, well, I don't see it in the other community. And I'm like, this isn't, a lot of things is just human nature that happens with Black people. But this thing right here where Black people feel like they own all Black people, and that there's some type of code or some type of something that you're connected to, like Bluetooth or something, where you cannot be a singular person, is strange to me.
Well said.
Like, if I was her, I would get I would get something legally written where he can no longer speak my name in reference to his organization. Because I would want nothing to do with him. And that's the same thing that I tell some of the passport bros and the Manosphere and all these other, and the red pill men that will swear that they're the good ones, and they know that that their organizations say bad things, but it's not them. Like, there are some good. But no, when you attach your name to something, you're attached to all of it and everything that comes with it. You can't separate yourself from the good and the bad. And that goes for like any type of organization, whether it's religious, religion wise or whatever the case may be. But that's all I came up to say, because I just found it very odd. Like, when she said, is she still a part of his brand? And that tells you something where it's like, even Cyber is asking this question in referencing Ashanti with Murder Inc., although she has been separated from that. How long has it been? Like, it has to be almost.
That's what I said, because of what he said.
Yeah.
She's a big part of Murder Inc. I'm under
the
impression
she's not even the same woman anymore.
Like, I went to one of her concerts and she was solo bolo. Was no Ja Rule around, was no Earth around.
She's no longer always there on time. Like, she was always there on time and always there when you call, when she was like 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah, but she's the reason why they're so successful now, and everybody knows them. So
seriously, let it go.
Yeah, her music still bang to this day.
Yeah, it does. That's why they have to attribute her to their success. They have to bring her up. If it wasn't for her and all those hits that she made, they wouldn't be like, their name wouldn't be known.
That's true.
But I'm gonna step down and let you guys continue. I just wanted to come up and say, just speak on that one part of what was said about her, being associated with him, and how people are able to bind you to them, and even though you let them go, but they can't let you go. That's very interesting. Don't let people hold on to you like that. Like, get rid of them. Like, if you don't want to be binded to them, get rid of them. And it's worth all of the money to get, if you have to get legal, some type of legal, something going on about it.
So
because
she needs a cease and desist.
She need a cease and desist his butt. And if he keep doing it, she need to sue. Like, why would she want to continue to be associated with somebody that caused her so much harm and abuse? And he's forcing it. It's like somebody constantly.
He called her a B.
Yeah, it's like somebody being able to assault you, and then constantly remind you every day that I own you, even though, and not only did I, assault you physically and mentally or whatever, even though you're no longer a part of me, you're, regardless of whether you like it or not, you're always going to be a part of me. Like, come on, get out of here. No one's doing that.
Got it, Camel. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good day. Have a good night. All right. We're gonna talk about this debate coming up here on our, what is it, Saturday?
That's right.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. Where's Darnell at? Somewhere hiding.
He in
He's
the cloud.
He's probably studying for the
I'm
debate.
so sorry, Darnell. I'm so sorry.
Al, welcome to the stage. How you doing? Hello, Al?
Hello. Can you hear me? Hello.
Sure can.
Hello. You can hear me?
Sure can.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we can.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Yeah. No, I just wanted to say, like I've been saying, in the chat, it's just like Irv Gotti is just hurt. Like, it's sad that his wife was the placeholder, because at the end of the day, he never loved her. That's why women need to stop being ride or dies, thinking that, oh, if I get him from the ground up and he comes up, he not gonna leave me. Girl, please. Okay. Like, you wasn't his fantasy. Ashanti was his fantasy. So don't think that, you are, that's only a very few rare occasions where the come up woman is a man's fantasy. And 9 times out of 10, that's just not the case. So I'm just like, women got to wake up and realize, hey, if your man steps out, that should tell you right there, you will never that was never your man, and you was never what he wanted in the first place. He just decided to settle for you until he finally came around what he really wanted. So, just the truth. That's just, unfortunately, that's just how male nature is. There's no it is what it is. So. It's just like, and then the dream girl got away,
So these males are displaying codependency.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like people have to really look into that. That a lot of men are codependent by nature. People really take what Pastor P, what she be preaching and stuff. Like, they are codependency by nature, and we not codependent women. We're not codependent. That's why they don't want us to be independent. They want us to, you need us. Y'all can't survive without. Yes, we can, baby. We can. Okay. Y'all just don't want us to, because y'all too afraid of being by yourselves,
Well,
so it's just the sad reality, You just got to look into it, but that's all I got to say about Irv Gotti. I'm just like, at the end of the day, he's still upset that Ashanti don't want him. And oh well, she did what she had to do. Yeah, she was young and naive. She never got involved with a married man. But, at the end of the day, it's just like she's still relevant. So people could say just same thing with Sierra. People talking about, oh, she can't sing, she can't this. But I'm like, baby, she's still relevant to this day. She still has a strong fan base. And as long as you have that strong fan base, you can still be relevant. It don't matter. Ja Rule's still relevant. It don't matter. Like, it is what it is. So people got to stop thinking, oh, they old and washed up now. They ain't nothing. Okay, all right, whatever. Say what you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You nailed it. I mean, the thing is that they keep saying they have this red pill thing that men are logical and women are emotional. But we're seeing a lot of emotions right now tonight with these dudes. So it doesn't make it. It just sounds like to me they're not winning their argument. Let's put it that way.
And they're not. They're not. Men are more emotional. Like, yes, we all have emotions as humans at the end of the day, but men are more emotional, because they had it more. And that's why they say men have more testosterone. So when they go crazy, when they do something, oh my gosh, this and that and everything like that, that's how they are built up with more emotions than women are. Not saying we don't do crazy stuff. Yes, we do, but you could tell the difference. Like who was more crazy than who. So
yeah. I mean, it's really simple. Look how many of us black men are in prison, and look how many of black women are in prison. We're looking at 5% compared to 30%.
Yeah, it's sad.
So we can't explain that away. There's no way to say, how can you say that women are more emotional, but our emotions are getting us in prison 30%, 25% more than women. You see what I'm saying?
The reason, why I believe women are more logical than men, because we bear children. You cannot be emotional carrying a child.
Right. You have to protect the child. That ultimately,
yeah, you have to be responsible and all types of things.
Right.
Yeah, it's just sad. Like, it's just, you want to have hope for our people, but I'm like, it's just like, when all we have is talking points. There's no action involved of us trying to change the narrative to be better, because most of our culture loves ratchetness, loves to be ghetto, loves to be this, and they think that's a cute thing, but it's really not. And I said, think about our generation, the kids that's growing up, looking up to Sukianas, all these people that's not nothing to look up to, and they think that, oh, that's the black culture, that's the this, that's the that. No, it's not. We not all like that,
Right.
That's a small percentage of women.
I was gonna say, we are not all like that. I'm gonna just say that, because even my son growing up, he doesn't even know anything about that whole ratchet world. He's mostly into video games, building stuff, and he's 10.
Yeah.
And you flip it, some other kids, they are into that. But it depends on what you have around your kids.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like I'm a teacher, so it's not a small percentage. So I'm in there seeing what these kids look at. And I'm saying, what is going on? Why? It's just like, I know the parents can only do so much, because kids still gonna get influenced by whatever they see. But I'm just like, it's so sad what this generation is becoming. And I'm like, Lord, we got to get it together, because there's only so much we could do. I'm like, it's just a sad thing seeing what these kids are growing up thinking, that doing this at a young age. I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's why I don't have kids. I'm happily child free. Because I wouldn't want my children going through nothing of this. Okay.
So let me ask you this: do you think separation is the next move for us?
Separation from what? From the women from the men or something, or
both?
No,
both.
Yes.
No, I think we just need to come together. I don't think separation is gonna make it better. Yes, we need to kind of work on ourselves individually to come together and unite to be better, but it's just like just being separated. I don't think that's just not, in my opinion. I don't know about anybody else, but it's just not real to me. I don't think that's gonna solve really nothing. You could individually work on yourself, but
Yeah, I agree with you. I think we need to work on ourselves. I feel like everything is working out the way it's supposed to, because men are starting to realize that they have to work on themselves. Now they have the red pill rage. What's after the red pill rage? They learn that the red pill rage is not working for them. It doesn't work. There's no results after that. So now that when they're done with that pity party, now they have to work and get they have to get a therapist. They actually have to heal their mindset, and then they could become a better version of themselves. But they can't if they're stuck in the pity party. So I think everything is working out the way it's supposed to.
I believe that separation is key. We need to be, as Black women, our own separate class. Period. We have to separate from Black people. If it should be Black men, Black women.
I don't think so. I mean, I understand what you're saying. I think it should probably be a class thing. I think it's more of a class thing than a separation.
Yeah, we need to be our own class of people. Black women, we need to have our own class of people.
I would say classes, because there's some Black men who own businesses and who have morals and characters.
Can I say something? So this is what I don't understand about American Black people, is that we are separated as Americans because we are American. It's Black people that put themselves in a bubble where we're like a separate entity from the rest of America. And yes, we are Black, and there is a history there, but we still are Americans. So there is a separation in class. We just don't use it. We basically are okay with being piled together with even with those that is would be considered bad people in the Black community just so that we can say that we're the Black community, because we've always been separate. Like, I was raised separate. Like, I wasn't raised in, if there is a middle class, and then you have, like, of course, the poor class. I was raised in a more middle class, like, religious house where my parents separated us and did not want us around ratchet culture. So you have I don't, like, I find it hard when people keep saying that, like, this stuff is new. This is not new. This behavior has always been there, and it's not new. It just has. And all we can, I'll say, for instance, in my home, some of us did the right thing and went to college and went overseas and lived a different lifestyle. And then some of us in my family just decided to want to be ratchet because that was their decision to make. Like, nobody can force you to do anything as an adult. So I don't know what this, it seems like there's this pressure, and it's only put on Black women to make the Black community great and all this other things. Like, no, we're all law-abiding citizens that have free will, and if you make a choice to be ratchet, or if you make a choice to be a criminal, then that's your choice. Like, who wants to spend the rest of their life babysitting grown people to try to make a community? I don't really understand that. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I will go even farther as to get legislation to make hurting one of us a hate crime, because we know it's 4.6 in this country. So separation, I'm with separation.
It would have to be it will have to be all of us, and we can't have all of us when even including women is okay with Black women being harmed because they just because they want to support Black men. There is Black women who focus is so on Black men and their well-being, whereas that they could care less about that. As a matter of fact, they help other Black men fight against that statistic. And that's why nobody cares about it or listen to it. That's why it's been 3 years or 10 years and all those women are missing in Chicago and been missing. And it took just this long for it to come out because the Black community don't care. So, like, this is why I'm trying to figure out who is it expected to build this community or try to keep everybody together? Like, who is expected to do that? Because I believe that the Black community believe that that's what they do now by hiding all of the things that happen inside of the Black community.
So, Camel, you think if we get real tangible legislation to separate Black women and have us as our own entity,
that Black people will fight. I believe that the majority of Black people will fight against it. I believe that, yes.
Okay.
Including Black women. Like, the majority, this is just my opinion. Black women don't like Black women either, just as much as Black men. It just is what it is. It shows through their behavior. It shows through their constant worship of men that constantly tell them that they don't want them, but they still want to help them bully Black women and all this other stuff. So, like, I don't trust them. Majority of Black women either. That's just my truth.
Yeah, you have to be careful at the end of the day, regardless if it's a Black woman or a Black man. That's why with myself, for what, you should learn the lessons you've been through with whoever you engage with throughout life. And I learned that it's best for me to, isolate myself away from certain Black women, Black men, and I'm just like, I got to be around people, like they say, you are who you hang around. So I'm like, okay, let me stop hanging around people that is not mentally on that level of the way I think, which is more healthier than what I see. I'll be like, okay, this is not who I need to be hanging around. So I need to find my group of people that I need to socialize with so I don't be a part of all this thought process of what's going on. Because when you are who you hang around, you start acting like them. You start doing this and doing that. So it's just like you are who you hang around. That's all I can really say on that. Because I'm like, if people want different, it is what it is.
It's a psychological word for it, and I can't think about it. But it's when, like, even experiments have been done when you place people all together and basically try to and you place people all together, and even the good people will end up turning bad. I can't think of what they call it, but it was an experiment done. And so what you're saying is, there is truth to it, where that I have been around, and I'm going to speak to Black women because I'm a Black woman, and we are talking about Black women. And, you know, a lot of times Black men will talk about accountability and the fact that they don't hear us talk about the issues that we have with each other, and we do talk about it. I mean, it may not be as much as they would like us to, but we do recognize that there is an issue amongst Black women ourselves. Well, I do, you know, and I'm a speaker, and I'm not going to hide it, you know, to show face. But I have seen Black women basically come into spaces and ruin every last relationship of women that there may be a good thing going, and one will come in and they will find a way to ruin everything, turn people against each other, whether it's colorism or they'll use colorism, or they'll use some type of demand. Another one is using men, basically like making this thing with men. And then of course we know men will come in as well and try to do this thing with women so that they can seem to be competed for. But like I said, we're going to speak about women. And I've seen this before. So like, I just, I do think that, some time ago, maybe 2 years ago, I would have said, no, Black together, like, don't feel like that. But I agree. I think that it's detrimental that you be very careful of who you what kind of women you allow in your space. And I damn sure don't trust white women ever, or any woman of no color. That would never. So this has nothing to do with some type of anti-Blackness. Because there would never be a time that I don't care what they say. I don't care if they was the way to heaven. I have no trust for them. But I have just noticed like the harm that other Black people, other Black women cause against other Black women and children. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on that.
Well, being a realist that I am, although us Black women that are on the panel, we don't associate with those type of women. When we go out in the world, we're still labeled as them. So because we're still labeled as them, and we are susceptible to the same trauma and the same violence as those women, I believe legislation for us to protect all of us is needed.
I believe it too, but if all of us don't, but it's deeper than that, And unfortunately, I believe Black women is in a place where we have to protect ourselves against the social injustices of the world, because we are a part of a community that do not care for us, including us. So like, we're detrimental to ourselves as well. And what you're saying, yes, I do believe it needs to be done. The Asians was able to do it. It seemed like overnight, where they was able to become a protected class. But it's because they stuck together and they realized that there was a threat. But the Black community will not do that for Black women and children. And I'm telling you, we've been in this country for much longer than any other race.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said we realized the threat. It's 4.6 in this country. So we have the threat of our own males, mammies, other races of men. We have everybody against Black women. So legislation should be our solution for BWE. This is BWE, Black Women Empowerment. So what is our end goal?
It's like the reason why, to piggyback on what she said, how the agents got approved fast, is because the agents have more respect in the world. They own stuff. Black people don't own a lot of crap. So that's why it was so easy for them to come together and get something passed fast, because they have respect around the world. We don't have respect around the world. That's why it's gonna be hard.
Black women own things too. Black women,
but that's why it's gonna be hard. We don't have the respect worldwide. That's why Asians, Chinese, all of them can get stuff passed real fast, because they work together with their people. We don't work together with our people.
How about this? How about we just try it then?
So we could try it, but let's see who's gonna come together and be united.
Let's try
it. Round all the Black men, round all the Black women, and see who's gonna come together and try to get it passed. So let's go ahead.
Let's get a bill together and let's try it.
Okay, let me move forward with this next video.
Is there any benefit from dating you in your 20s that a man wouldn't be able to get now?
The key that I'm trying to bring up here is, why is he even asking that question?
I don't understand the question. Can you explain it?
I honestly, I can't, and I'll tell you why. Because I would be putting words in his mouth. Let's listen to it again, and I'll try to get the idea. I can give you a man's observation from what a man is saying, but I can't give you the actual observation of what he really means.
I know what he really means.
Please, because I'm lost.
He trying to get her to feel bad about herself because she's getting older and she probably can't bear kids. And that's what he's trying to say, you know?
That's a good point. Creative, I think you're onto something. I believe you. And I believe you are onto something. Here we go.
Is there any benefit from dating you in your 20s that a man wouldn't be able to get now?
You're talking about sex?
My age now.
He's talking about sex.
Yeah, I think he is. I think
You
what
don't think
he's
he's talking about sex? No, I think he's he'll probably gonna talk about how, you know, you're much harder and harder to deal with in your 30s because you got all these boundaries and all it is. You know, you're not as loving and as sweet now.
I think he's trying to get to sex and fertility. That's my opinion.
Yeah, sex and fertility.
So the
and
question
probably
is,
gonna mention it.
Is there a benefit from dating you in your 20s that a man now won't get? So a 20-year-old girl is, you know, energetic. She's fresh out of high school, I guess, right? 2 years out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say horny, you know. So,
all the things horny men want.
So the benefit that now she's not going to be too available now because she has a career. I would assume she has property. I would assume she's busy. At 20, you're not that busy. You hanging out.
Yeah.
Hey, DJ Torch, can I say something?
Okay.
I want to say this is what I want to say. Do these men understand how this looks? Whereas that we have all these problems in our community, and they focus on these dating things. Do they know what this look like to women, or they just don't care?
They just don't care.
They don't care.
Because this
it's an easy scapegoat.
It really doesn't have any relevance to the majority. The black women. So this is the thing: the black women that they feel like they want to attract have no interest in this. Like this is it's irrelevant. There is nothing beneficial to it, and it just really makes it's one of those things where it's like, with all of the issues that you have for 10 years, you talked about this. If you was to talk about the fact that in America you don't have the same rights and privileges as other men, therefore whatever it is that you believe in, the reason why you're still down, if you would have talked about that for 10 years, as much as you push this alpha male stuff, which in any other thing will be considered an agenda, because this has been white man's conversation, that now black men have dropped the fact that they still don't have certain rights. There's still certain things that is not equal amongst them and men, but they spend their time with this. It's the weirdest thing to me.
Camo, I would agree with you what you said there, but I remember I was watching one of these podcasts and it was on a short, and a white guy has spoke for the black men and said that they are fully capable and nobody is stopping them from reaching their ultimate wealth or the best versions of themselves. And they all agreed to.
Did you ever see that? Did you see that thing? I think think with Vice, and Vice did like a I'm gonna send it to DJ Torch because it'll be a good piece for him to look at. Vice did this thing with men of all kinds of men. I'm talking about it was gay men, straight men, black men, white men, men of other races, men that is non-binary. And I think the question was to them, what do you consider being a man is? And it was so embarrassing because the black guy, I gotta find it. And the one black guy that a lot of people did speaking, like had ended up doing reactions to it. And the one black guy, I think it was like really only one. And the first thing he said was something like, well, I'm from the hood and something. And then the white guy comes on and he's just like, well, being a man to me means something about my legacy and my lineage and being a provider and a protector and all this other stuff. And it just was like so cringe and so embarrassing. And this is exactly what this looks like to me. This right here. This, whenever I see these black men with these dating podcasts and all these other things, it's just really like, what is this the only thing that's on their mind?
Yes, it is, because that's all they care about is, how can I get the youngest girl, and all this. They not thinking about, let me be a better man for my community, let me be a better father, let me be this, let me be that. They not caring about that crap. That's what women care about. All they caring about is, how can I get my DICK, wet and all this and everything and all that. That's all they care about. So,
very good point. Let's see how she answers it. Here we go.
Right, that he wouldn't be able to get now.
No, I would have to say no. For me personally.
So you would say for you personally, no.
Okay, I need to bring it back real quick, and then I'm going to go back into this video real quick. Remember, there's a reason why I played that video of the Kendra G interviewing that older man that dated somebody who was 30 years older than him, younger than him, right? And how he complained about how she changed. Okay, this is very important. Here we go.
Okay, that's
for me personally, no.
Well, what about in general?
See, unfair question. He's trying to get something out of her that technically she cannot. She can only speak for herself. Listen to what she says.
In general, see, I would have to be speaking on my young women, and I don't. I'm not okay with that. But I'm just gonna try. Let me see if I could try to just give you a standard answer. I mean, in some cases, it might be the physical aspect. In some cases, if you're kind of a superficial person,
she's working it. She's being a little bit soft about it.
She's understanding the circle talk in the question.
Boom.
And of course, not being mature enough to. But typically, if you have a young man and she's a young woman, they may already be on the same level.
What if it's an older man and it's a younger woman?
Okay, now that's different. That I never understood that. I never understood an older man wanting to date a younger woman. Unless, and the reason why I'm saying that is because the only thing that will be a plus, a pro in a relationship like that, to me, would be the sexual aspect and likely, the physical aspect. But an older man dating a younger woman, it's the communication is totally off unless she's a more mature younger woman. So you have to always take something like that into consideration, whether it's one or the other. You may find a young man who dates a young woman who's mature. you may find a young woman who dates an older man and she's mature. So that takes a different turn. But if we're looking at it just on the surface, an older man and a younger woman really have nothing in common when it comes to emotional things. And the only thing that would, to me, would be a pro would be the physical aspect. He may want, the appearance of a younger woman around him, her body, things of that nature, and sexually. But as far as the emotional connection and being able to communicate on an intellectual level, it's not gonna happen unless the woman.
She kindly buried him. She knew what he was trying to say. He was trying to make the play that younger women are better than older women. That's all he wanted. That's the only thing he was trying to prove. And she articulately picked his argument apart. That's what I got from this. She's breaking it down.
Yeah, and he ain't got nothing to say.
No.
Because she's not combative, she's not aggressive, she's not emotional.
Not one bit. Not one bit.
Yeah, she did that good.
I was really impressed with what she said. He tried to put in landmines and he took care of all that. Let's see what else she says.
Is a mature young woman.
So if a man is 40 years old, how much younger could he date to where he don't really step over into that criteria that kind of makes it incompatible?
25.
So a 40-year-old could date a 25-year-old and she wouldn't be considered a younger woman?
She would be, but she would be a more mature younger woman.
Okay.
You know why?
25 would be good. Okay.
The brain is fully developed at 25.
Right. See, she's looking at the interactions as a positive relationship. He's looking at it more as control. And what he's willing to trade in for control is incompatibility. So they can be incompatible, but as long as the man is getting what he wants, then he's fine. That's what happened to that guy earlier in that Kendra video. What happened was he was getting what he wanted for a couple years. He was getting the sex, he was controlling her, he was getting all the babies he wanted. But then that young lady at 19, she grew up and saw that he was a scrub and cut. That's what happened.
Hey, Torch.
Hey, Camel.
Hey, so if you check your email, I sent that video to you. And if you could play about the first 5 minutes and you can see what I'm talking about. And I just was just a little bit, and it wasn't even just the black men. I mean, the one cowboy guy, you're going to see, he's going to blow it out the water. I don't know. I think white men just practice in the mirror of how to outdo everybody and everything that they can do. But it's not even just like the black guy. It's just, if you listen to like a lot of the men, they done spent so much time talking about dating and I don't know, hating women, not liking women, who's tradition and modern and all this other stuff. If you listen to these men, they don't even remember what a man is or what masculinity is or any. They know about what it is and what it is to be a man, be masculine. But I just want the people to see like maybe the first 5 minutes of this interview, and then you can just go over it, and later on you want to pick out some other things. I think.
Okay, got you. Wait, double check and see if you hit send. I don't see it on this end right now.
So he's supposed to be the new Kevin Samuels. It's so many imposters.
I know. Yeah,
they trying to fill that shoe so bad. So bad.
So that would, I'm saying that will keep him out of the realm of having to deal with the stuff that you would be dealing with on the surface. A 25-year-old will be somewhat a little bit more mature.
Okay. So let's say that'll be a 15-year gap, right?
Right.
So anything over 15 years is ridiculous.
It's a challenge.
It's going to be a challenge.
It's a challenge.
So if you're a 50-year-old man, a 50-year-old baller, you're a millionaire.
Notice how he's trying to juice it up now, make it sound better. Now the guy's a millionaire.
Dating a 25-year-old wouldn't make sense.
No, it would not.
Not
if you're serious about that person. Not if you want to be serious. You just want eye candy, or you just want, to play, and you just want to be able to say, "Oh,
she cooking him."
She cooking him.
Cause so if a man has money is his. How can I say this? Is his rite of passage to have a young woman just because he has money?
Exactly.
Yep, according to
That's
them.
what he's trying. That's what he's trying to sell. That's what he's trying to sell.
So they're really old pervs.
Basically.
They got nothing else to offer except for the money and the age.
Right. Notice how he hasn't talked about anything to do with compatibility, personality, character, kindness, love, compassion, loyalty, none of that. That's because they don't, these men, they don't have that to offer. They don't, if they had that to offer, that they wouldn't, number one, they wouldn't be red pill, and secondly, somebody would probably call them simps because they would truly show love.
Then what makes them think that if they're 50 that a young woman would be actually genuinely attracted to him?
Yeah.
It's just money? These men are shallow. These men they have no spirit.
Well, that's the problem with the manosphere, with what they're doing. They don't realize that women like men with depth to them. And just being in the manosphere and you listening to what the manosphere talk about what, rating women from 1 to 10, hitting a wall. Women don't want to hear that crap. Even if a woman is is well below the wall level, as they call it, or is very good looking, a classy woman doesn't want to hear that crap. And that's why Fresh and Fit, they get so-called bimbos on their show, because those are the women these men want. They basically want access to sex. I mean, that's what it is. Let's not beat around the bush. The men in the manosphere, their primary goal is getting access.
It seems like it's a type of his house, like, it's so funny. Like, I was thinking about the conversation that Darnell was having, and he was talking about men not having their own, and they used to not have their own. And to be honest with you, Al Bundy created the manosphere in the 90s, in the early 90s, with the She-Man Haters Club. Remember, he had his little manosphere, and they would have their meetings in the basement and talk about all of this same stuff and be delusional and all these other things. I mean, the only thing that they've done was made it come to life. Like, it's kind of like Fresh and Fit makes it a real live situation. Kind of like the Barbie, dollhouse. Like, just, I don't know if you've seen the Barbie movie, but the Ken, personality of Ken, becoming conscious and understanding what patriarchy was, and him starting his manosphere in Barbie Land or whatever. It's basically the same thing. Like, they just made it come to life, but it's still a show. It's not reality, because in reality, that life does not. It's not going to be the majority of people's life anyway. And then that douchebag personality is now a joke. It's like a whole that personality type is a joke, and all you're ever going to get is some type of sex worker of some sort. That is willing to use her attractiveness to get what she needs, for the moment, and then she's going to be on her way.
Right.
That's it. You're going to lose your marriages and your girlfriends or whatever. And if you decide to live a life of, loneliness and to be your own man or whatever, that's good. But be happy with it and leave people alone.
Right.
Like, I mean, what is the point of you doing that and living a life of monk or whatever you decided you're going to do, and then just to bother everybody in the world? Like, I don't get it.
Look,
But
I just wanted to say that they are promoting Shera Seven's channel. Every time they do this, they prove her right every single time. Because Shera Seven be like, go get you an old man, someone that look ugly, someone who looks challenged, someone who's a little bit older, and that's how you get them for their money.
Big
Right.
Cap
A
says,
point I need to come back to is this. Notice how he brought up a millionaire. And
Yeah.
Bridget keyed me in on this by saying, how many of them have money? I mean, quite honestly, he is painting a scenario that I forgot what the percentage is that of millionaires in the United States, maybe 10% or something like that. But it's like, come on. Why are you giving this woman a scenario that literally none of your listeners are a part of? See, that's the disingenuous part about what he's saying. And what bothers me about the manosphere is, like, they're coming up with scenarios that aren't even true. He's coming up with a scenario and saying, well, what if he's a millionaire? Well,
and out of that 10%, like 1% are black.
Right. Right.
Now, Big Cap said that it goes both ways. These women want money, right? I'm gonna let Big Cap know a secret about women. Women look at men with money. You don't have to be a millionaire, but it just shows that you have discipline, that you can take care of yourself. Because women have no choice but to take care of ourselves. When you come into our lives, we're taking care of ourselves.
Well said. Let's play a little bit more of this.
25-year-old, and typically somebody that old, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. So 9 times out of 10 is everything except I want a serious relationship.
So a man like Idris Elba got no business dating a 25-year-old.
I don't. Is his wife 20?
I'm telling you, he's being disingenuous again. Let me break this down, because I need, in his defense. Okay, this is 2 days old, right? This video is 2 days old. Let me replay what he just said. It's very important. This is very important. We're looking into the nature of manosphere speak right now. This is a very important. I can't stress how important this is. Listen to him again.
Dating a 25-year-old wouldn't make sense.
Wait.
A 25-year-old will be somewhat a little bit more mature.
Okay. So let's say that'll be a 15-year gap, right?
Right.
So anything over 15 years is ridiculous.
It's a challenge.
It's going to be a challenge.
It's a challenge.
So if you're a 50-year-old man, a 50-year-old baller, you're a millionaire, dating a 25-year-old.
Notice how she's shaking her head because she knows it's full of it.
It makes sense.
No, it would not. It would not. Not if you're serious about that person. Not if you want to be serious. You just want eye candy, or you just want, to play, and you just want to be able to say, oh, I'm dating a 25-year-old. And typically somebody that old, they know what they're doing. So 9 times out of 10 is everything except I want a serious relationship.
So a man like Idris Elba got no.
What?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, let me play this part. This is the important part. This is the key right here. Here we go.
25-year-old, and typically somebody that old, they know what they're doing. So 9 times out of 10 is everything except I want a serious relationship.
So a man like Idris Elba got no business dating a 25-year-old.
Why are they always talking about people that's celebrities? Like, first of all, Idris Elba is married to a well-matured grown woman. If you're gonna use him in fact, in reality. In reality, Idris Elba, in all of his old age of being in his 50s or whatever it is married to a mature, I believe, middle-aged woman. Like, what is this? Like, what is this bull? Like, that's why I said, like, what men is listening to this and like, yeah, you know what? You're right, man. No cap, man. Like, yeah, but he's so fat, dude. Like, what? Who is listening to this? Idris Elba is a real live person. He's not dating 25.
Camo.
And when he did, he was with what is her K Michelle and had an affair, and probably whoever else he'd had an affair with, and it didn't go anywhere. He still stayed in his marriage with his middle-aged wife. And at the time, I think K Michelle was like in her 30s or something.
Right. Let me break it down like this. The dude, we just heard the dude in that video say that. Wait, in fact, let me bring it back because I need to make this point. This is so damn important. This is very important. This has nothing to do with Idris Elba. Listen closely.
9 times out of 10 is everything except I want a serious relationship.
So a man like Idris Elba got no business dating a 25-year-old.
He's 33. Do you see how disingenuous this guy's being? And I'm telling you why. You're probably like, well, maybe he didn't know and blah, 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 blah. If you are interviewing somebody and you are making a statement, it's supposed to be as factual as possible. Idris Elba's wife, let me bring it up again. That's her right there. Wait, let me go back. Go here.
You know why they say Idris Elba? Because they know that when they listen to women and they hear when women say a lot of women consider him to be like the poster child of desirability for Black men of a certain age and whatever. So they listen to, like, I just get so sick of these people, these alpha males, whatever the heck they call it. It's ridiculous. I just can't do it. Like, I can't. Like, just stop.
How old?
Well, what about Idris Elba though? Like, maybe you guys love Idris Elba. What about him? How about it? He can date 25-year-olds, right? Of course he can, because you guys love Idris Elba. Shut up.
Okay, so Sabrina Idris's wife, is 33. We heard the guy say 25. How do you not know how old a man's wife that you are trying to make a point or example with? How do
He
you
looks
miss
nothing
8 years?
nowhere
He
near
missed-
Egypt Alba.
Yeah,
If there was a bunch of Egypt Albas walking around, then we wouldn't have so many problems. I mean, the fact of the matter is that there isn't a bunch of Egypt Albas just walking around and everybody gets the. You get an Egypt Alba, you get an Egypt. Like it, just stop.
Right. Yeah. So the problem I have is the disingenuous delivery this guy has. It's like, how do you miss? A year or two I can understand because maybe it was her birthday was in December and you're talking about March, some weird stuff like that. But he was 8 years off.
Is his wife 25?
I don't even know.
And now he act like he don't know.
No, I don't.
I like her energy. I like it.
No.
Yes. Very relaxed, very composed.
She's using both sides of her brain. I love it.
Because some of these 50-year-old men.
I mean, yeah, because I said 25 is a more mature age.
He's not about to get into 50-year-old men. Please stop. Don't tell me this. That he's about to start getting into this 50-year-old men talk. Oh God.
Here we go.
Business dating anybody 24 and below. Now, I typically don't condone relationships where the guy is 50, like you said, and dating a younger woman. 40, 25, I think is okay.
So what do you say to a 50?
I don't even think 40-25 is okay because there's a dynamic of maturity. And what I'm saying is this, 40-25, well, that's a 25-year gap. That's a no. More like, well, no, that's
I've noticed a lot of people since this Leonardo DiCaprio stuff keep talking about Leo. Well, Leo does it. Do you know that we still see Leonardo DiCaprio as the dude from Titanic? Like, do you know that all these young women get to look at Leonardo DiCaprio when he was at his best, and that's what they see when they see Leonardo. They don't see you the same way.
The sad part is this: when he starts dating a woman, when they get older, he dumps them and gets another younger one. So it's like, what kind of benefit is that if you only
it's like these young girls are dating a fantasy. That's it. Like when they get Leonardo, they get the Leonardo from the what is it, the Blue Lagoon or whatever it was he was in when he was like 12 or whatever, and they get Titanic. What is his name? The one who was he on the Titanic? I can't think of his name. That's who they're dating. They're not dating Leonardo from the Django.
All right. Let me keep playing this video. Here we go.
50-year-old man who's dating a 23-year-old woman, supermodel or whatever. Would you say that he's in over his head?
I would. That's what. So let me get clarity because we've been kind of going back and forth. So 25 to me is a more mature woman. 24 and below, you will have challenges. Any man 50 should not be dating anybody less than 35.
Oh.
Any man 50 and over should not be dating anybody younger than 35. So again, I'm giving you clarity. 25 is a more mature age for a female.
So let me say, I want to say this to the men, real quick while we here, because I'm reading this thing in the chat where he's saying, well, when we say that to a below average attractive woman and call you delusional, then I'm gonna tell you why there's a difference between a below average man and a below average woman. Men will still sleep with below average women. If you look at my 600-pound life, every last one of them women have a man, and some of them even have a husband. Lizzo had a man. Men will still sleep with unattractive women. Men don't have the same luxury. A man that's unattractive will not have the same success as sleeping at an extremely attractive woman as being unattractive. That's why it's when you keep saying that, oh yeah, these women are delusional. No, they're not, because they know that men will still sleep with them. We are aware that there's a difference between being in a relationship and sleeping with someone. And especially in 2023, there are women that just is okay with getting a little piece, and you can go on about your business. There are women that's okay with you just coming over at night and not wanting to be seen with them during the day, because they don't care about that. They just want a piece of what that thing is that they saw on Power or whatever, movie, Titanic or whatever it is. They don't care about you walking around. We're not women. We're not men where you have to brag about it and be like, hey, look what's on my arm. Like, no, there are women that is perfectly okay with having their moment and you going on about your life. So stop with this thing where like you can't compare yourself to women as much as you want to unless you just go ahead and start sleeping with men, because the experience is totally different. And as men, you should know that. You can say all you want on the internet. Yeah, man, I would never sleep with her. I literally hear you guys talking about people like Sierra, Ashanti, and all these other women that you know damn well that if they ever walked up to you was like, hey, take me wherever you got to take me and do whatever it is that you want to do to me, that you would just pass out and die right there in that moment. But you in your delusional state will make these comments like, yeah, she's for the streets, and while also having your Pornhub in your tab open somewhere else, looking at trash women. Like, stop it. Stop comparing yourself to women. That's another thing that just makes you look bad and feminine. Like, we're not the same. We will always be able to get deep. It's just what it is. You're not always
Right.
Some of you can't
Like-
get a piece of vagina and
Like,
still
we can
virgin.
We could get D before we could get a hamburger. That's not hard to get. Like,
Thank you. Exactly.
That's not hard at all.
Exactly.
Okay,
You
I'm gonna
might
play a
not
little
have
bit
a
more of this
job, but
video.
you will all. I mean, there should be what is it, a bumper sticker? You may not always get employment, but there will always be D. Like, come on, like, stop. Like, we're not the same.
Yeah, like they giving out D
Yep.
like food, like free lunch.
Look, they give out D's like they give out C's, like in school. Like, come on, like, stop. Like, y'all know how easy it is to get your D. Like stop.
It's so easy. Like they make it think like women out here just on some dry seasons. We are not.
Right.
We not.
Okay, let me play a little bit more of this.
And real quick, it seems like the least of the attractive women actually have the best sex life. They're the ones that actually, yes, huh? Yes, I'm here. Yeah, I came in.
And my man just left this morning.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna play some more of this video. Here we go.
Should not be dating anybody that's younger than 35. If he really wants compatibility in his
I'm gonna
relationship,
stop it real short because I want to make a quick point. She's coming from a moral standpoint. He's coming from a pedo standpoint.
if he's really serious.
Oh wow.
Oh, I
And
got a
any
new word.
man that's
I got a
40.
new word. Predo.
Yes, he can date 24 and below, but it will be challenges.
Mm. Oh wow.
And that's
Remember I played that video with that older dude.
So
this is all based on my experience.
I heard that. I know that's right. So what is the challenge? So I know I talk to a lot of brothers, and a lot of brothers have this belief, or and it could be based off of their experiences or experiences of other men that they've surrounded themselves with, and they would say that it's also challenging, or even more challenging, to date a woman who's over her prime age. What would you say to men who say that? They probably just, are they just picking wrong, or
wait, over her prime age?
Yeah.
What?
Again, he's thinking in credo talk. He is
This dude.
Like, what is prime age?
He was sweet with Madonna.
Yeah. See, the problem he has is that him and his culture, they're thinking more about sex and control. They're not thinking about compatibility at all, or morals at all. And remember now, over your prime age to them is being over 25. He is trying to sell the notion, and failing horribly, by the way, in this particular video, that it's better for a 50-year-old older man or 60-year-old older man to hook up, because that's all it could be, with a 25-year-old woman. That's what he's trying to sell. Otherwise, he wouldn't be. He would have stepped off of this. He would have stepped off of this subject a long time ago and moved on to something else. But you notice that he's been sitting on this for the longest.
Yeah, because he's not getting her to
No, he's not getting what
collapse.
he wants from her.
Yeah, she's not collapsing into his narrative.
Well, you got this thing, you got this term called leftover women. Have you familiar with that term?
Yeah, I've heard you mention that. I've heard you talk about that.
And the reason why these guys would say that is because, well, basically they wouldn't want to cross a certain threshold of women. I think that's typically around, once a woman start to peak over 30 years old, they're like, okay, look, that's where I'm gonna stop at. Regardless if they keep, growing that age. So
but
what do
men,
you think? I mean,
men don't reach their pinnacle to about 42.
This is crazy. He is really trying to sell a 20-year plus age gap. That's what he's trying to do. And I know it's not pedo. I mean, if the woman's 30 or 25, it's not pedo, but
it's creepy.
It's creepy. Very creepy. Creepy and dusty.
Does that even make sense to you, given your, what you just previously said? Because it kind of puts him, if a man really wants to take your advice and he has that in his mind, it's kind of probably going to confuse him. Like, well, damn, I can't.
There's nothing confused about having morals. Look at him.
So I have to date a woman that's, over 30, to get a meaningful relationship,
And
or should I just?
It's really all of this is subjective, because a lot of who you are is based on your experiences. A lot of who you are is based on your upbringing, your education, your understanding of things, whether you're a religious person or not.
Torch,
it's so many.
These terms that they have, they make it seem like this is like the world's view of life.
Right. Right.
Factors that make up one individual.
Right.
So we can go on and on and on about all of these different scenarios, but really it all boils down to who that person is as an individual. She
Who
could
you
be a
are as a
25-year-old, extremely mature.
Well said. Kimberly Moon, she's cautious because she doesn't want D threats after the show. And unfortunately, that's a lot of channels, they do that.
Your understanding, career-oriented individual. And
Scott asked this question. Where did you find this guy? Scott, I'd be
On the scale? Oh, I was gonna say that, like, we should start giving him 1 to 10. He looked like a 3.
Yeah, I don't know about the scale. No, Scott was asking where did I find this video or I guess.
Oh.
I'd be dredging, Scott. I'd be looking everywhere, trying to get out, everybody's side of the story and everybody.
Torch be in them streets.
I'd be in them streets. And he's a Kevin Samuelite. He is a huge Kevin Samuel fan. I've sent a couple super chats his way, disagreeing with some things he said, but I don't pay him much mind, as you notice. I barely usually feature him in any of my videos. Maybe at the most it's the second one.
Torch, how many followers he got?
I think he's got like 30,000, 40,000.
What, already?
I wouldn't say already. I think he's been around for a while, but it's easy. Telling men what they want to hear is probably one of the most easiest. It's probably the easiest way to make money on YouTube. Men are much easier, in my experience, on all the channels I go to, whether you are a male or a female channel owner, the easiest lick are desperate men.
I remember when you were he's done. I was gonna say I remember when he had like 4,000 subscribers, and then all of a sudden he had 10,000. And now you said that he got 30?
He might have bought. Wait, why does that say 333? Okay, this is his other channel. He has another channel. Maybe the other channel he might have 10. I don't know, but I thought he had it to 30,000. Maybe I was giving him more credit than credit due.
I was about to say, Torch, like what?
In his defense, I know he's got another
and
channel.
And us over here in these spaces, we are more objective to opinions and stuff like that, because we have real lives, we have real careers, and we have sex often.
Well, see, the thing is this: they try to make women out to be delusional, but women have to survive. So you can't be delusional. You can't go, oh yeah, everybody down here in this hood will love me, so I can walk out at 11:30 p.m. and I'll be safe. You can't do that. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's like I was telling Darnell about the world's. When you step out, we know it's not safe because they want to come with this protective narrative.
Right.
And she can date a 40, 45, 50-year-old and they would absolutely be fine.
Okay, let me go back. We messed something here.
Who that person is as an individual. Things, whether you're a religious person or not, it's so many factors that make up one individual.
Right.
So we can go on and on and on about all of these different scenarios, but really it all boils down to who that person is as an individual. She could be a 25-year-old, extremely mature, understanding, career-oriented individual. And she can date a 40, 45, 50-year-old and they would absolutely be fine because she's on their level. But she could also be a 25-year-old that is playing around, that's unsure of herself, that's carrying a lot of trauma.
Stop it real quick.
And a person.
Let her finish this sentence right here.
And a man 40 and up, there's not going to be any substance in that relationship.
Okay. What do you get?
Age doesn't make you mature.
Right.
It's your choices in life that makes you mature. So I disagree with her on that. Just because a man's 40 years old doesn't mean he's on a certain level.
Well, exactly. I mean, it's been clear. We've seen examples already. Today. I mean, look at Future. He's in his 40s, right? He's a mess.
2 Chainz in his 40s too. Kanye West, like all these. It's your choices in life that makes you mature.
Right.
So it really just depends on the individual.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest, King. It really depends on.
I agree. I agree with you on that. It depends on you as an individual. I agree.
But in general, the bottom line is this: is that no, you can't be a 30-year age gap, a 25-year age gap, a 20-year age gap, especially if it's with a 25-year-old woman, is a stretch.
Yeah, it's shunned upon.
Yeah, it's shunned upon, and for a good reason. There's been experience that it doesn't work out. There's more negative experiences with those types of age gaps than there are positive experiences.
But same with the women too. Same with the women who mammies and date young men.
Right.
They want control too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But that's such a small factor, though. I mean, I think I saw Scott make that example or make that mention a long time ago.
Exactly.
We're talking about like maybe 5% of the women do that. You see what I'm saying? 3% maybe. It's a small percentage of women who do that because at the end of the day, they want more than just sex.
However,
I
was gonna say, the man that feels like he doesn't want to date what you call quote unquote leftover women, honestly, that will be a case by case basis. He may date a woman in that age range that he finds absolutely phenomenal. They're compatible.
Okay, she's trying to work with him. Because there's nothing, any man that would start talking about leftover women, he's not a viable mate anyway. His mentality's already off. You don't call, so like, is his mom a leftover woman? Is it, is his sister a leftover woman? You see what I'm saying?
So there isn't any leftover men?
Right. Irv Gotti is a perfect example of a leftover man.
When did these men get such on a pedestal? Who put these men on the pedestal?
Right. You nailed it. That's it. And it's funny because the thing is this. It was Kevin Samuels who said these men make us 43.5. But yet this guy wants to try to make an example of millionaires. That's simply disingenuous. I mean, by their standards, it's disingenuous because basically the majority of this man's following or subscribership don't make anywhere near $1 million. So why is he even bringing it up? He's trying to get. I thought he was trying to. He's trying to win an argument instead of giving his own subscribership information they can use. That's why a lot of these Manosphere channels, they do more damage to the men than they help. And of course,
the average man, black man, makes 43, or is that the man across the board?
No, 43.5 for black men. Average men altogether is probably more like 50.
So is it true that the black collective men cost this country what, $5 billion a year?
I thought somebody said it was more like 80 billion in a year. That's what's going out, 80 billion a year. That's what
So if they're costing that much money,
right?
How are they making 40,000, 43 a year? Somebody lying.
Many are not employed or other services that need to be given, whatever. Bottom line is We expensive. We are expensive.
Understand each other. They get along. They understand sacrifice, commitment. You can find that in a woman that is outside of your window of age, that you're saying, you know, you're not going to go to that age level, that age bracket. And then you can find like the worst experience ever in a woman. So
she giving me Manny vibes.
Well,
She
now
giving me Manny vibes.
She's trying to work with him, but probably in conclusion, what I got from this is that basically, see, first he wants to go in. First he asked her individually, and she said, no, a 25-year-old woman and a 50-year-old man, no. That was her answer. Now they're going into this individual situation of the guy being Prince Charming and the woman being queen, mature, and to get his narrative across. But at the end of the day, it's creepy. It's creepy and it's dusty. He's trying to sell dust. So yeah, that's what I got from it. What do you think?
For him to stay on this topic this long, he's catering to his audience to paint a narrative that women are delusional. See, we got one that's delusional.
Right.
I was doing some reading, and there are states in there are certain states that have more men than women.
Yeah. You know something? That's the funny thing. Was this is what I've realized. For most women, that disparity and there being more women than men doesn't even come into play. Because it comes down to men being the form of attraction. Men need women more than women need men, in my opinion. And it sounds weird and crazy for me to say that. But think about it like this. I don't mean men, we're trying, as you can see, they're trying to sell that protection and provide thing. But basically, all a woman needs to do is live in a good area and just be careful. And basically, there's not much more that a woman needs. You can call the cops as long as you make sure you take care of yourself, you're gonna be fine. The problem is that for some reason, and which is even worse about these manosphere leaders, is they're trying to sell to men without trying to sell to men that they need women. Because if they didn't do that, and they said, you fellas, you need to go out there and do what DJ Torch does, and just go fishing a lot. Just live life, enjoy your life, and then when you meet somebody nice, in an organic fashion, you will find your soulmate. But they're trying to make these men desperate for women, because if they do, they can get money from these guys. They can make money. They can get their chats on. They can get their money. They can get money from these poor men. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't feel sorry for these dudes, because quite honestly, a lot of them, they have character flaws that are dangerous to a lot of women. But for the most part, if you listen to these manosphere talking points and these manosphere channels, not only do they disrespect women, but they disrespect men by forcing them to think that they have a certain power they don't, number one, and that they need women. Because if a man didn't need a woman, he wouldn't be on these channels, because he wouldn't care. He would just he'd be out mowing the lawn, or he'd be out watching a movie by himself because he doesn't need a woman. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
It's like these guys are hustlers. They're using the need for women, the emulated need for women against these men. And these men, and they really, quite honestly, they genuinely need women now because they're brainwashed into needing women. Kind of like the way that the mammies try to brainwash women into thinking they need men.
Well, men function better with a woman.
Yes. Yes, that is true. But and you are absolutely right. But the problem is, as a lot of these men, they don't function well regardless. They've destroyed women that tried to make these men function
See,
better.
women, we have to function because we are the weaker sex. So we can't go out in the world and make silly mistakes
Right.
like men can.
Homelessness for a woman is doggone near a deletion sentence. It's doggone near that. Let's just put it this way. I used to work for computer companies that worked in the community, that worked for homeless systems. And let me tell you, it ain't all those little movies you see of Skid Row being rough is absolutely on point, if not sugarcoated. It's bad. So
Yeah, especially for a woman. I'm in California, Los Angeles. I see more men on the street than women.
Oh, there's way more. Because women made the right decision and men didn't. A lot of more men didn't.
Yeah, because women, we can't make silly choices. We have to be mature about every move we make.
Right.
We have maintenance. We have to maintain ourselves.
Scott says women receive far more support from the system than men. Well,
I disagree with that statement.
Yeah,
it's universal. Support is universal.
Yeah.
If it wasn't, then stop taking it on my check.
Right.
Now
That's
on
right.
top of that, like men receive help from their moms, from their homeboys.
That might make a pretty good live. We can talk about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because when I get my check, they take the money out. They're not telling me, oh, this went to this amount of women. This $100 went to men. Come on now, Scott. Stop it, Scott.
Right. Not only that, remember now all the money that's spent on men to control men from destroying the community.
Who do Scott think paying for the prisons? Who it's coming out of my check.
Right. So yeah, it was a good argument that Scott made, but I think there's more to be said about that. I mean, the prison system is mainly for men. Let's face it.
Listen, Scott needs to realize we are intelligent over here.
Oh yeah.
We're not emotional women over here. We have men. We're married over here. I grew up with my father my whole life, so I don't have that phobia, or what's the thing? Oh, single girl syndrome that they always talking about. Fatherless girl syndrome.
Okay, Scott says, "Oh, this is a good one. I'm gonna love retorting this one. In fact, I think I need to play my retort video. Where is it at?
What's the matter? Oh, you were finished. Oh, well, allow me to retort.
Okay. Scott, you said the current state of the community is proof that Black women can and will make poor decisions and are saved from their poor choices.
The
Wow.
same can be said about them too. Look about all the
He's talking about Section 8 housing programs and stuff like that. This country is not going to have children and women on the street, Scott.
Exactly.
Do your history on the orphans. go watch that documentary about the orphans in like the 1700s in this country, in the 1800s. Come on now.
Right. Scott, we just went over Irv Gotti and hip hop and all that kind of stuff. And I I still remember your 15% of viable, marriageable black men. That was you coming from you, from, your point of view. And with that said, along with the fact that you've seen the damage that the hip hop culture, not the music, because they're always argued as your music doesn't do anything. Fine, but the culture, which is glorifying pimps, players, pedos, adulterers, so on and so forth, which, come on, let's face it, Scott, those are the guys. Those are the guys who are the Pookies and the Ray Rays, right? Okay. Well, that's the majority right there, Scott. So how are you blaming women when you have men like these that still wanted a submissive woman? They got permission from the women. The women went even as far as having their kids, and then these guys did what they did. Whatever it was, there's a long list of shit they did, what they did, why women are single. Yeah. And
it benefits this country. This is why we have the greatest army in the world. It benefits this country to protect women and children, because if they have sons, they're more likely to go into to be enlisted, become police officers, firefighters. Where do you think these males are coming from, Scott?
Right. Anyway, I think this is a good spot to stop. Been on here for 3 hours and 15 minutes. And I would like to give my appreciation to Cyber Dreams, Creative Solutions, Camo. Who else was on stage? Elle was here. She was here.
Yeah, Elle, come back, please. Elle, come back.
So this was actually a fantastic live, and another one in the books. Another one in the books. So, how would we conclude it? You guys have any last things you would like to say?
Just ladies, drink your water. If you didn't run today, run tomorrow. Stay away from eggs. Eggs is not that good. And stay safe.
I got to remind everybody, we are having a red pill debate this weekend. BWE debate, red pill. Cyber Dreams will be doing the moderation. The moderation.
Oh, I got some questions for him too.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Also, I'm gonna include the chat as well.
And the chat, great idea.
So this is asking the men.
Say that again.
No, is it this red pill debate? Is it for men?
No, yeah. Camo and Darnell is going to be debating on the history of music and its role in the community.
Okay.
It's going to be fantastic. Cyber Dreams is a musical expert. Camo loves music.
Yeah, we're going to go from the 50s. I don't think I'm going to go that far back. I'm just go from the 50s. I should start into Prohibition, huh? But that's when